What's poppin', y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Tee It Up. I'm your host, Pierre Pee Wee the Plug Andreessen. We have a special episode today. I'm joined by my brother, Andrew. I'm not even gonna call you by your name. I'm gonna call you Combo. That's because I don't call you on your phone and be like, "What up, Andrew?" We got my boy Combo Cord in the building. Combo, what's going on, man?
All is well. It's going to be really fun talking to you, but it's even better. I don't have to prepare. I'm just here because so often you're on my show, but now I'm on
Exactly.
your show and you have to do the preparation. So I love it, bro. And it's always, it's always great talking basketball and life with you, whether it's on a phone call, on a recording, IG Live back in the day, Twitter Spaces, Friday Night Lights, wherever it may be.
So that was one of the things that we was just telling the team and producer Christian is this is a special episode because obviously anytime we have a guest is special. This is also my first episode back on Tee It Up post surgery. But we got you on here, and a lot of people that follow me to this day remember the times during the pandemic 2020, 2021, even 2022 when we did a lot of content together on Instagram Live. Then we had the Twitter Spaces around the time that Clubhouse was kind of popping. Twitter Spaces was new. I would come on your show. We would chop it up on the phone. We had Instagram lives when EJ was not even in high school. Like EJ was a middle schooler,
Crazy.
and he was trying to figure out ways to get quicker and faster. And you was telling him to do the hill sprints and everything like that. So I know a lot of the OG people are going to see this episode, and I can already see the comments on YouTube and Twitter of everybody reminiscing about the conversations that we used to have in the Twitter Spaces. I actually miss those days
Me too.
because the Twitter Spaces was so real, raw, and uncut that they used to get a little bit of everything. I remember we used to have these phases where we would talk and we would agree on everything, and then we would have certain conversations where we disagreed on everything,
I,
and
s- I
that used
see.
to be crazy.
I seen you bring up something on your show, man. Numbers on the board. Shouts to numbers on the board. You were like, Combo used to say like the G League was better than college, but I used to always disagree with him.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
remember, and I remember you bringing. I appreciate you bringing me up on the show, but those were funny debates. We used to really get into it. We,
No, like,
what
yeah,
we used to get into is Steph Curry a point guard. I don't want to get into it today, but
yeah,
we used to debate this a lot though.
yeah. I can't. What side of the fence was I on?
Well, I was like, Steph Curry's not a point guard, and you were like,
Okay,
yeah, you were definitely on the other side of the fence for
I
sure.
understood the viewpoint though because the Draymond effect. Not to get
100%.
into the conversation, but I
No,
understood
no,
it. But
please.
when we have to place him somewhere, it's like I get the sentiment, but he's not a shooting guard.
The positions are just what's a position these days? Like, you know what I mean? It's crazy.
That I think that's the beauty of the game, though, is
100%.
that like even
100%.
in football, it's like the quarterback position is a lot more open than when I was younger and it was growing up. It was
100%.
either pocket passer or scrambler. Now you have like dual threats. You got guys who are improvisers. There's a bunch of different things you can be at the quarterback position. I think it's the same thing in the NBA. It used to just be like traditional. Like in the early 2000s, guys were not leading the league in scoring at the point guard position. Like we were not seeing it. That was like a shooting guard thing. And now you can have different variables of a point guard. We still have traditional. We have score first. We have the Marcus Smart, defensive minded. Like we have off ball point guards in today's game. It's like it's very crazy. The first thing I want to start with you though is summer league. I was
Mm.
supposed to go to summer league. Obviously wasn't feeling well. And the closer I got to summer league, the more it made sense for me to stay home. And then looking back at everything and this whole process I've been going through, that was probably the best decision I made because I was able to get everything figured out and get myself situated. If I would have went to summer league, I would have made the situation worse and I would have
Mm.
prolonged it. Um, so now I'm extremely happy that I did miss. I was a little disappointed because I was telling you that I was coming. I told Pick a Side that I was coming. I planned to do content with you, Pick a Side. We was doing some interviews or whatever. How was Summer League in totality for you this year compared to the other previous years? And then we'll get into the players and who impressed you and disappointed and whatnot. But what was the overall viewpoint for you of this year's Summer League?
First and foremost, most importantly, I'm glad you're feeling better. That's more
Thank
important than
you.
anything we're about to talk about.
Hmm.
But with Summer League, the social aspect, the event aspect, the seeing people aspect was amazing. It was great. It was like great. The events were great. The people were great. It even felt better than other years. And every year is great with that. Like I remember we were hanging out in the hallway with the Pick a Side boys, right?
Mhm.
Like that was awesome. Like you're always going to get stuff like that. Events, amazing. Everything. Like I saw old friends. I recorded a show from Thomas and Mack with Coach Nick. That was awesome. Just talking
Yes.
basketball with Coach Nick. But from a basketball perspective, there was some hidden gems, right? But not as good. Just not. Like there wasn't the moments. I remember watching Jalen Green and Cade Cunningham going at it. It was like magnetic. It was magical. There was energy in the building. Zion Williamson, Wemby. Just watching Wemby, like he didn't look real. Like I saw the videos, then I saw him in person. I'm like, this is not real. And he even
Yeah.
struggled a little bit the first game, but people were in the
Mhm.
crowd were calling him a bust. That was
Yep.
funny. But there was just so much energy. I did get to watch Cooper Flagg play, and he's great, but the energy in the building just wasn't the same with Cooper as it was with like a Zion, a Wemby, even a Jalen versus Cade Cunningham. It wasn't that same kind
Mm.
of energy. Bronny, everybody saw him play. He got his G League reps this year. He played for the Lakers, not a lot, obviously very little, but there wasn't as much buzz around Bronny. He just seemed like another player to some degree, even though there was a lot of Laker fans in the building. But from a basketball perspective, the energy was not the same as other years.
Were you what energy were you expecting? I know you expecting energy. I mean, it's summer league, you got Cooper Flag, but did you go into this thinking that the reception for Cooper Flag was going to be on a Wembanyama level, or did you taper it a little bit? I remember that Wemby year, and I've gone to summer league. I don't know how many years in my career now. I remember leaving there and being like, "We're never seeing that again." Like that was the first time that people that was working at the Thomas and Mack was like, you gotta find a seat. Like, you know what I mean? Like you usually we got our pass, we go on the floor, we walking around, we doing whatever we want to do in the media area. The Wembanyama effect, and it was Wemby versus Brandon Miller. I think it was the
Mm-hmm.
Spurs versus the Hornets.
Mm-hmm.
Filled to capacity. It felt like a playoff game. It was the craziest thing I've ever
100%.
experienced. I left there though, telling myself never expect that again. Like I don't think I'll ever experience that at summer league. Were you thinking that you? Because a lot of people do think like Cooper Flag is generational. I have not talked to you about your opinion or take on Cooper Flag from that aspect. I do think that it is at this point solidified that Cooper Flag is a damn good player and will
100%.
have a really really good career. But the generational thing has been kind of back and forth. Do you think he's on that generational level? And was that why your expectation was that? Or are you just speaking in general that the energy and the buzz for this year wasn't there? And do you think that could also be because they did pit him against like Bronny? Usually it's a Vic versus Brandon Miller, the top two picks. Cade versus Jalen Green, I think were the top two picks. For them to open up Summer League, Flagg versus Bronny. No disrespect to Bronny at all, obviously, but Bronny was a second round pick who played G League basketball last year. And that one was kind of different, to say the least.
All right, I got to give your fans an exclusive though, right? If
Okay.
there is some generational player coming into summer league, the key is, unless you have a media pass, right? The key is to get 2 games before and go almost courtside and wait, and then you'll
Mm-hmm.
get a great view at that generational player. Um, the thing is, I do think Cooper is generational just for the simple fact how good he is at his age, being this
Okay.
young. Like going into college and being this good of a player, an NBA ready player, I think that does make him generational. Now is he as eye popping as a Wemby and Zion? No. And I do think you're right. Like, why would they pit him against a Bronny? Because there's no even like there's nothing there, right? Like with Cade and Jalen, I don't think as high as I am on Cade, I don't think neither of them was generational, but you felt that in the crowd because of the debate between those two. And then one guy coming from the Ignite, one guy coming from college. Even me and you used to talk about that, just the
Mm-hmm.
dynamic of all of that and the energy. Yeah, it didn't feel like Cooper had any kind of rival or anything special to go up against. But I do think he is generational just for the simple fact of how good he is at his age. He definitely has some improvement areas, like the off the dribble jump shot does have to get better. The shooting in general does have to get better, but he has elite feel on both sides of the floor, scans the floor real well. I don't like the Tatum comps. I got to hear your thoughts on that because I think he's opposite of Tatum. Like where Tatum hangs his hat on ISO scoring, that's probably Cooper's biggest weakness, right? And Tatum's biggest weakness is probably making everybody better. And that's something that Flagg does at a high level. I don't really see that comp, and I want to hear your thoughts on who does he remind you of?
Well, the whole draft process, and I've seen people say it now, so it sounds like I'm saying something that has been said, but
Right.
producer Christian knows. He even asked me, like, "Man, did you create this? Like, are you the first?" I'm like, "I don't want no credit because I don't know if anybody." But
We
I've
do that.
seen
We do that a lot though. That happens a lot to us.
it does, it
Okay.
does. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But I think by now, hopefully, 7 years into this, people know I'm not really a repeater. You can't you get what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't go and hear something and bring it on my platform like it's my
100%.
idea. You know?
But really, that does really happen to us a lot. Like we say something, and then it sounds like we copied it because it
Yeah.
could be brought up later or something. You know, it's like,
Absolutely. But
yeah,
if I do if for example, if I was scrolling social media or if I was consuming content and Combo says this guy reminds me of X, Y, and Z, and it clicked for me, I would then go on my platform and say, "Oh, I heard my guy Combo say blah blah blah,"
yeah,
and that really like I see that a lot of people do take something and just like regurgitate it as their own topic. I always reference where I got an idea from or
yeah.
if it makes sense. Even if it's a random person on Twitter, I try to my best to remember to give people their credit. But sometimes I'll just be like, yeah, I saw on Twitter that they were like, he reminds you of blah blah. And I kind of see that in a weird way. But I kept saying for me, Cooper Flagg is a modern Karolinko to me. Because I think back in that time when Karolinko played, wings and players didn't have as much freedom as they do today. As we saw that first game, Jason Kidd is like, hey, Cooper Flagg, put the ball in his hands. That's a weakness. We want him to get a little bit more comfortable with all of that. Back then, that wasn't an idea. You had your, like I said, traditional point guards, and wings were out there to be wings. Now, in today's game, like you mentioned at the top of the show, because positions are so free and there's so much interchangeability and guys are so
100%.
much more dynamic, you can do a lot of different things. So that's why I put the modern version of Karolinko, because I think Cooper Flagg's, if he's going to be a generational player, and if people are calling him generational, it's because of what he can do defensively. And that's what made Karolinko special. Now, modern wise, I think he won't just be a guy that's just sitting and cutting like Karolinko, because
100%.
even at this age, he's so young. You in 5 years, Cooper Flag is gonna be 23. So
It's crazy.
like you said, the off the dribble shot creation and different things like that, he has 5 years to work on that, and he'll still not even be in his peak age.
It's already gotten
So
better from high school to college. I mean, that's one thing too, like the off the dribble stuff. It's just not there yet.
yes, it's not. And the thing that kind of intrigues me with Cooper Flag, what I like about him is I think there's a world where I'm still confident in him being successful, even if it never becomes to a Jason Tatum degree or
100%.
level. But yeah, I do agree with you. I think that the Jason Tatum thing comes from people trying to project, because if he does start to get some isolation scoring to a degree, then he would physically, the size is there. They both will be able to guard. He'll probably project to be a better defender because he can probably guard up a little bit more. But I think Tatum's game has gotten underrated, because Tatum has grown as a playmaker.
100%.
Isolation scoring is incredible. Can be a bit of a settler. Um, Guards up and down the lineup, but Cooper Flagg is legitimately what 6'9", 6'10", couple inches on Jason Tatum there, and yeah, he's just like you said, he has incredible feel on both sides of the basketball. It's just about those other things, and he kind of is set up as a cheat code because again, to your point, he's generational because of his age. He was supposed to be a senior in high school, but he was a freshman in college and still dominated and performed at the level he did at Duke in the
Yeah.
tournament.
Yeah.
Um, and so because of that, he has a head start. So again, in 5 years, and what I look at it too with Cooper Flag, and I didn't mean to make this a Cooper Flag thing. He also is set up combo because in 5 years, wait, how many years is it going to take for him to get the next contract? Is it 4, 3 or 4?
Hmm.
He's going to be 22 and he's going to be ready for a potential rookie max. If he turns into a max level extension guy and is out of his rookie deal, he's going to be signing it at 22. That'll be a 5-year, $200 million. I'm just projecting $200 million deal. then he'll, at the end of that deal, he'll only be 27. So then he'll
Right.
be able to re-up for another max extension. And if the deal keeps going up, who knows in 8 years what the money is going to look like if Devin Booker is signing a 2-year, 150 type contract. So I look at that from Cooper Flagg's perspective too. Cooper Flagg being so young that if he translates to being this all NBA player, this perennial all-star, all defensive level guy, and even further, the money for him, he's going to be re up for 2 max level contracts. A lot of guys in the NBA only get that chance at that big one. You know what I
So
mean?
so that reverse reclassification is going to pay off for him.
Yes. Yes. My goodness, we talking about somebody that if everything goes right, and it's so hard to project the money, man. The money in the NBA is getting crazy every couple of years. So
Right.
even the numbers I'm spitting out right now just feels like I don't even know how close this is. But again, if he signs a rookie extension in 3 or 4 years, he'll be roughly 22.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just say that rookie extension is 250. If you're getting a max rookie extension, the Nike deal is probably going crazy. I'm sorry, the New Balance deal is going crazy. But 250, then by 27, you're re up for another max extension. 5 years, I'm gonna say 390, 400. He's already halfway to over $1 billion. He's like, yeah, he's like a quarter, 3/4 of a way to $1 billion. It's like $700 million, and that's projecting what the money looks like today. Again, in 8 years, guys could probably be making $70 million a year casually, like Devin Booker just got. And if that's the case, then he could be a $1 billion contractual player. It's getting crazy with these new young players getting in. I gotta start working on my son. You know what I mean? Because my gosh, the money is just outside of Cooper Flagg, though. Who impressed you the most at Summer League
Topic.
for OKC?
Yeah, I mean, like, there's players better than him in summer league. Like, you could argue Kon Kneuppel's better than him, right? There's a bunch of players that might be better than him, but he brings something to OKC that they don't have. Like, we talked about how there are no longer positions. I always talk about how, the NBA is more about meshing skill sets and tendencies than positions, but that guy plays like a true point guard. And SGA, as great as he is, he's not a true point guard.
Absolutely.
They don't really have a true point guard, and that's what he could provide them off the bench. And on top of that, to play for OKC, you got to be able to knock down a jump shot. That was a weakness of Topic's. But in summer league, I seen him, like, Cooper was record scratching a little bit with the jump shot, right? Like a little bit of pump fake and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even not to keep bringing it back to Cooper. Yeah, he was record scratching. But Topic, catch and shoot, looks fluid. I mean, everybody on the court is playing at his pace. Like, you know how LeBron and Luka and even SGA, everybody plays at their pace. I'm not comparing him to those guys. I'm just saying everybody plays at Topic's pace, and he makes the game look really easy. And now he's showing the ability to knock down a three. The only question mark with him is the defense. I don't think he really fits OKC's identity in terms of defense, but I love his game, and I was really high on him. I was surprised he slipped that far in the draft. Like, I remember tweeting. I was at that draft. I remember tweeting, like, how is Topic slipping this far? And I loved everything I saw from him. Like, he's a really good player.
Any concerns about him being able to get on the floor? Because like you mentioned, you have SGA, you have Lou Dort off the bench. We're talking Caruso, Cason Wallace, AJ Mitchell. Like, how is he going to get on the floor?
It's funny you say that, because my thought was watching him play, I wish he was on some other team.
Yeah.
And they just gave him the keys. Like, I want to see what a true rookie campaign looks like for Topic. And I don't know how that, like, I think that would be awesome. Like, look, he wouldn't have to be great defensively right away, right? Like, you could just play him.
Yep.
I think that would be really fun. But that's not going to happen. I don't know if he's going to get to play, but why not, like, give him reps during the regular season and rest your, load manage a little bit, right? Load manage a little bit.
That's a good point. That was a team that won 68 games last
100%.
year. Potentially could do that again because they bring.
You want a dynasty? You want to, not to cut you up here. If you want a dynasty, you got to pace yourself somewhat.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think, last year I didn't even watch a lot of OKC games because they took care of business that fast in the games that they played. Like, you would watch a half and the game would be over. It was a lot of fourth quarters where Shea barely played. That's why it was so impressive for him to average the numbers that he did, considering that a lot of those games weren't close and he was able to, sit the last 9-10 minutes of a game. So in those situations, then yeah, they definitely may be able to find an avenue to get him some reps in there early. And because you dominated the NBA last year, you won the championship. A lot of teams, when they win the championship, that next year, their goals change. They don't feel the necessity to really go out and win every single game that they can, if that makes sense. Like, I remember when the Warriors chased 73 and
Yes.
then they lost, and then the following year they were like, yeah, we not really chasing shit. Like, yeah, we're going to win our games. We're going to do whatever we do, but we're not here to try to win every game in the regular season because the most important thing is the postseason. So
This is part of the reason why Tibbs doesn't have a job, by the way. He
is
tries
it?
to he tries to win every regular season game. Every single one.
I will say though, to his defense, we were not a OKC.
Right, right.
So
100%.
theoretically,
100%.
we needed to win every game we could to be where we were at.
Fair.
Because the East got a little close there, and it ain't like we was a top. Now, if we were a 68 win team, then I would, I would catch that, or I would agree with you there. Kon Kneuppel,
Mm.
I like him, play really well. I seen you say something though, and I'm gonna ask you about it. Klay Thompson with a better layup package is what you call Kon Kneuppel.
P, I'm an entertainer.
Can you
I
go in? Can you go in depth for me and the audience?
Sometimes you got to give him the information, P, and sometimes you got to give him the information with a little bit of sauce, P. You know that. But yeah, he's a movement shooter. I mean, Klay Thompson's a movement shooter. He's tough. He's big. He has some issues defensively, but he tries hard and he's smart. And I think at the same age, around the rim, he has some craft that Klay Thompson didn't have. Will he ever be the shooter Klay Thompson is? Nobody probably in the history of sports will. Like I've said, has Steph Curry ever had 38 and a quarter? Like I said that on. I'm not gonna say the platform because it's your old platform, but I said
No,
that
you
on
can
that.
say my. Hey
Oh,
man,
okay,
yeah,
okay.
I ain't one of those.
Well, shouts to them. But anyway, I said it on that platform. I love them. You know, they give me opportunities all the time. I said that on that platform. He'll never be the shooter Klay Thompson is, but he is a movement shooter, and that's a highly like you saw how Duncan got paid. You see why Duncan gets paid. Jordan Hawkins is a guy who I think will get paid eventually. Klay Thompson will always get paid because that's a rare skill set in the NBA, and he has it. And I believe he does have some stuff around the rim that Klay Thompson does not have. Will he ever be the player that Klay Thompson will be?
Probably not.
Probably
Yeah.
not. But you got to throw some sauce on the information, P. That's what I do.
Probably not. No, yeah, I like Kon. One question for you, because we talked about Cooper Flagg, we talked about Kon Kneuppel. Is there any concerns with any of the Duke guys that they play with each other? So you got Maluach, Flagg, Kneuppel, Proctor. Um, they had a very, very loaded team. Do you look at any of that and say that some of these guys were souped up? Not that any of them are bad. I think we all understand that they have a certain level of talent. But do you think it's any possibility that they all looked a little bit more better than they potentially are because they did play with each other?
Absolutely not. And I think it actually helps Cooper, right? Because he's coming on a team that actually wants to contend. They probably won't because Kyrie's not there, but I think that helps him in this situation because he's around a lot of really great players and he's on a team that wants to win now. And then Kon Kneuppel showed when Cooper was out that you could give him the basketball a little bit more, that he could have more on-ball reps and he could be effective. So I think Kon at Duke and now in Summer League showed that he could play with the ball. He could play without the ball. He could be a primary option. He could be a secondary option. And then Maluach, sorry if I mess up his name. I mean, he just fits in the NBA. Like, you want a rim running, rim protecting big. Like, you put him with a Luka Doncic or a LeBron. Like, he fits perfectly. He's almost like the archetype of player that almost every NBA team needs one or two of those guys. So I don't really see any issues with you. What are your thoughts?
Um, I'm curious to see. I'm not. I mean,
With which guys specifically would you say?
a little bit of all of them besides Cooper Flagg. I mean, because I think number one, Cooper Flagg, I would maybe kind of be curious if he went to like a Washington, but he's going to the Dallas Mavericks. they're going to have him surrounded day one with Derek Lively, Anthony Davis, D'Angelo Russell, Max Christie, Klay Thompson, Najee Marshall, and then Kyrie Irving is going to return. So
Right.
regardless, he's in a great situation just from a team perspective.
Well, he has his Kon Kneuppel with Klay Thompson. He has
Boom.
his Maluak with
Derek Lively, former
exactly.
Duke Brotherhood.
He has these guys. He has these
So for
guys. Yeah.
him, the talent level and the situation, I kind of remove him from the picture a little bit. But I am interested to see it for a Kon Kneuppel and a Watch because it is going to be a little bit different, right? This was that Duke team. When you look at it, they had 3 guys go top 10. That was a star-studded team. But I'm also looking at the history. There's been like remember Michael Kidd-Gilchrist was the 2nd overall pick off of that star-studded Kentucky team where it was him, Anthony Davis. They
Where's the
won the
B-roll with the jump
championship,
shot? We need the B-roll
you
with
know.
the jump shot. We need the
And then it was a little, it was a little different. And I've seen that with certain teams that have these star-studded teams where they're all together and they look a little better on a star-studded team, but then what happens is you get drafted higher to teams that aren't necessarily star-studded, and some things kind of get exposed. Number one, it's the highest level of basketball you're ever going to see. So, you know what I
100%.
mean? The NBA is the toughest place to play. It's a lot different than college, but then it's also different when that talent level drops because the talent level that they had at Duke was arguably some of the best talent in the entire nation as far as roster construction and the young talent that they had. Now, when you're Kon Kneuppel, you're going to the Hornets. The Hornets are going to be the lesser talent group of the league versus, and it doesn't always mean that the player is going to fail or not be good. Like I said, I think Kon Kneuppel is one of the safest picks in the draft because he is a movement shooter. I kind of know what I'm getting, and I think he has a high floor where he's going to be a really good, productive basketball player. And I think that's why I love the Hornets draft because almost every one of their picks line up with that. The Hornets, the last few years, were taking big major swings for talent, and this year felt like, okay, we have LaMelo, we have Brandon Miller. We don't have to hit a home run. A single is still getting on base. If you hit 3 singles, you load the bases up and you still put yourself in position to score. It doesn't always have to be a home run. Home run hitters, they either hit a home run or they strike out. It's not like an average hitter who just gets on base a ton is more valuable than a guy that's either swinging and hitting a home run because nobody is hitting 90 home runs. You're gonna hit what? I'll take an Ichiro over Adam Dunn any day of the week. Adam Dunn hit 40 home runs, but he also probably had 150 strikeouts. Ichiro didn't give me a bunch of home runs, but he scored a bunch of runs because he got on base, stole bases, and put pressure on the pitching staff of the opponents based off how they pitch now, having somebody on base. So I love the approach there for the Hornets, but it is something I think about. I saw that a lot with a lot of Kentucky teams, a lot of John Calipari teams, where he's bringing in 4 or 5 top freshmen of their class. They get to all come in and play together and play off of each other. And then they go to the NBA and it's a little different. Even some of the Duke guys. You know what I mean?
Oh, a lot of the Duke guys did not transition well. I mean, that's a
A
fact.
lot of Duke guys, but they looked really good in college playing with one another. You know what I mean? So that's why I put it out there.
It's so individual based, P. You said something interesting. The NBA is the toughest place to play. But is that true? Is that true for everybody? It's the best league, obviously. But let's think about Derek Lively. And I know, we only compare it to Maluak. You can't compare him to Cooper or Khan. But when you have better passers playing with you, when you have more spacing with you, like sometimes the game gets even easier. And I see Cooper possibly scoring more in transition in the league than in a packed college. Everything's choppy. There's no spacing. It's like sometimes the league makes it easier for you, depending on what type of player you are.
Well, from that standpoint, yeah. Because number one, you're going to spend more time in the NBA than you will spend at the college, high school level. That's number one. But the main thing is the talent that you're going against. So Derek Lively, I think Michael Porter Jr. was also a talent that I thought was better in the NBA than in college.
He's so hard to evaluate because of the injuries. Like he's doing. By the way, if people don't know this, he's doing this messed up. Like he's all the way messed up, and
he's the
won
truth.
a championship. Yeah,
he's
100%.
still a high level player
100%
at 50% of what his talent. You know what I mean?
100%.
But even before that, like just when he was playing in a little bit in Mizzou, because he was hurt then too. That's when it kind of started. Like his game is more. There's a lot of NBA players or players that went through college and their game is just more suited for the NBA.
Mhm.
But I think there is a lot to learn from going through that. I think Cade Cunningham game is much better at the NBA level than college, but it showed us how good Cade was being at Oklahoma State, playing against the Baylors and being in that Big 12 against the Texases or a lesser talented group because he went by himself to Oklahoma State and he took on those responsibilities of being that focal point of an offense, seeing bodies and still being able to deliver. And I think that set him up for a Detroit situation
100%.
more so than if Cade Cunningham would have went to Kentucky and played or went somewhere with 3 other McDonald All-Americans. I don't know if that sets you up for what your experience is going to be at the NBA level. Because when you go to Detroit Pistons and you lose 28 games in a row, it's a lot different than going to Kentucky and winning 28 games in a row. And I think
100%,
some of
bro.
those guys, and it's not always the case, right? John Wall played with DeMarcus Cousins, Bledsoe, and he went in the NBA and was totally fine. But I do see some guys take a different route of not playing on star-studded college teams, and it helps them, I feel like, with their transition into the NBA. Even a guy like Jalen Green. Jalen Green's game is much more suited for the NBA than
100%.
college, but I
100%.
do think he potentially could have grown as a player by playing college because
Yes.
college can be a little bit more stiffer. You might run into a zone if you play in the ACC and you go against Syracuse with that zone.
It
It's challenging you.
it feels like Jalen Green sometimes went from AAU to the NBA. It does feel
Right
like
there.
yeah, that's what it feels like.
And I think sometimes it's tough. Don't get me wrong. It's very tough. I get it. Transition and ISO and all of that shit that they do in the NBA and in AAU. I get it. But I do think the learning curve of going through college does help a bit. I do. I think it helps with a lot of different things on the floor and off the floor. I think college is incredible also because let's just do this for a second. You play basketball, you've been around the game. If you are a top player, and
Mhm.
you don't even this applies to guys that ain't even McDonald All-Americans. You could just be the top player in your little region of your state. You're gonna get special privileges everywhere you go. You're gonna get
Right.
your ass kissed, and people gonna do whatever they to have you on the AAU team or to keep you happy to play on a program, whether that's for a high school team, AAU, or whatever.
Right.
Let alone being a McDonald All-American. I've never been next to a McDonald All-American. So if I was seeing guys get their ass kissed by just being the best player in the region or in the school, I can't imagine what because a McDonald All-American stamp is almost saying you're going to go to the NBA. You know what I
Yep.
mean? Like 90% of guys who are McDonald All-Americans that's their ticket to the NBA. So if you're a McDonald All-American as a high school player, nobody's really telling you anything for the most part that's challenging you or as you kind of just do what you want to do. When you go to college, that's one of the rarest places in your basketball career where you're not going to have as much power. The college basketball and college sports is almost like the military because the most important person is the coach.
Is that changing though, P?
A little bit, yeah, it is. But I still, at certain programs, Bill Self still runs Kansas. Grady Dick didn't come through and ran and run Kansas. That's still Bill Self. It's changing a bit, and that's why we got guys like Jay Wright and certain guys
Yeah.
leaving because they're
Right.
not going to be able to get certain guys without doing some ass kissing. But I
Mhm.
still think that there are some coaches that are going to say, "Hey, I'll be okay if I don't. I wasn't getting these top. Shaka Smart wasn't getting top McDonald All Americans regardless. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
that was never his thing. He was never getting the Andrew Wiggins and Jabari Parkers of the world. So you're still going to see Shaka Smart figure out his move a little bit. But still, regardless, the college basketball is set up to a place where the coach is, for the most part, the most important player, most important person to the program. And a lot of times you don't see a player become bigger than a program unless it's a lesser. So when AJ DeBanza goes to BYU, he's going to be bigger than the program because we don't look at BYU as like You know what I mean? But John Shire, he's going to run Duke. John Shire now has Cooper Flagg came through there. Who was there before Cooper Flagg? It was what, the Derek Lively and everything like that. Now it's about to be Boozer. Um, so he's about to be a new Coach K, where it's Duke. You're going to get NIL. You're probably going to get to the NBA, but it's going to be John Shire's way.
Transfer portal and NIL have changed that a little bit.
Say that again.
Transfer portal and NIL has changed it a little bit, though, because a kid could just leave whenever he wants, and that changes the power dynamic a little bit, because a coach cannot act like the way coaches used to act 10 years ago without kids just upping and leaving, you know?
How do you feel about NIL? I don't think I've ever asked you that.
I love it, man. Like, if you're playing basketball, I mean, you're the most important person in the whole thing, right? Like, you're the one who should be getting paid. So, yeah, I love it. I mean, it's pro basketball at this point. I don't really think it's collegiate anymore, though. You know, it's pro.
Why? Because of the NIL?
Yeah, I mean, players are getting paid. It's professional basketball. It's not.
Well, was it ever collegiate then? I mean, players.
Well, okay. Underneath the table, it
it's
was
still
never
paying, and we all knew. Like,
right. So, to your point, it was always professional. Yes.
Okay.
But you know what? Some teams had a certain amount of professional players, and the rest of the teams weren't professional. The rest of the kids weren't professional. There was some of that, right? Especially the lower and lower level you get down, there was less kids getting paid. So it was like a mix, and it's still like that.
I think that's the thing that kind of makes it not professional to a certain degree, is because it's not all around the board.
Right.
If that makes sense. So if Combo goes to Kansas and I go to Texas Southern, it's not the same. It's not the same. They're both
and also,
it's both D1, but your facility is going to look way different than mine.
100%. But on top of that, even if we go on to the same school and I'm a McDonald's All-American and you're the 12th man, I'm a professional and you're probably not. So even on the same team at times, you know?
No, absolutely. But the one thing I will say about us being on the same teams, we are afforded some of the same opportunities as 100%. Far as getting better. Now, the 12th man ain't going to have the NIL, ain't going to have the privileges, but the facility will be there. The strength and conditioning coaches will be there.
Yeah.
Just being able to have access to the gym and all of that, that'll all be there. But at different programs, that ain't all weighted the same. And number two, the other part that makes it not professional is the competition level. Because if you're at Kansas and you're being treated like a professional basketball player, being paid high money, you still on your schedule could run into a Chicago State University who has none of that.
Right.
And you'll go and play an entire game against an entire roster that does not have one guy that's going to go to the NBA.
Right.
And so, but when you go to the NBA, all of the fat is trimmed. Everybody, for the most part, has a 40-inch vertical. Everybody is strong as hell. Everybody is the elite of the elite. That's the crazy thing about the NBA. It's like the guy that we look at, like, that doesn't play. Like, I love when people have opinion about somebody like Theo Pinson. You know what Theo Pinson is?
Yeah.
And it's like Theo Pinson is just a guy dancing on the bench. Theo Pinson was one of the best players in the entire nation
100%.
in high school. You know what I mean? It's like, it's so crazy how good professional. Well, we want professional such a wide range, but we'll just go NBA. It's so crazy how good NBA players are. Even whoever the worst player in the NBA is, somewhere in his career, he was the shit. He was unfuckwittable. Somewhere he was playing basketball, and that's kind of like mind blowing.
Go to summer league and like players keep getting better and better, bro. Go to summer league, like watch a guy that has no contract that might be overseas next year,
busting ass.
You'll be like, damn, like that guy's tough. Like the athleticism, the skill just keeps getting better and better every year.
Are you on board for an expansion? I've been seeing a lot of my people hitting me up saying they want to see an expansion team because the talent is becoming so
100%.
much overwhelming that guys are kind of getting fizzled out. Where you'll go to summer league and like, damn, he's not on the roster. He's not on the roster. He's not on the roster. And then you look at the rosters and like, well, that's why he's not on the roster. There's no spaces, but there's still a lot of talent.
100%. If we added 2 teams, it wouldn't drop off the level of play at all, in my opinion. Like, if you look at bad teams' rosters, I mean, they're all really, really good players on those rosters for the most part, right? Like teams that might not even they might be in the look at some of the play-in rosters.
Mhm.
You're like,
Name
man,
me a team.
who was in the play-in this year? That's a good question.
The Atlanta Hawks.
Well,
Chicago Bulls.
yeah, the rosters weren't amazing on those teams.
That's my thing. It's like I agree. I feel like there's times where I look at the NBA and I'm like, damn, he like right now Malcolm Brogdon doesn't have he's not on the team.
He is like he could. Hey, we got it. We might have to get to a Ben Simmons, Malcolm Brogdon conversation about your Knicks because they need to sign one of them.
Yeah, they do. And I love both. But
I love both too. Hey, we're still hanging on, bro. We're the only ones on the hill, on the Ben Simmons hill. I mean, look, we're not there in terms of like we think he'll be with what he was with the Sixers, where we actually tried to do that for a while. We hung on to that one for a while.
Yeah.
But now we're on the thing like he can help a championship team.
You know what the problem is with that combo? I'm just a loyal guy. So I don't want to abort the Ben Simmons mission when it's all bad. Like at this point, we just gonna ride it out. I rock with Ben Simmons. I was a fan then. I'll be a fan now and support him. I'm not going into the season telling anybody he's going to get back to his old self, but I still like his game and like what it was. So I'm gonna continue to support him. I was the same way with Austin Rivers. Austin Rivers, I was a fan of when he was in high school. Then he went to Duke. Didn't have the same type of you dig in the NBA, but I still rocked with Austin Rivers when he was a backup and coming off the bench because it's like, hey, that's a dude I supported way then. I'm not the guy that's like, oh man, my favorite rapper ain't got the same sales, so now I don't. That's not my guy. I don't listen to him no more. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Drake lost the battle to Kendrick, so now I don't like Drake anymore. It's like, nah, that's still my guy.
I'm still listening to Summertime Butch too. I mean, he's not as hot as 5 years ago, but I'm still listening to Betty the Butcher.
I ain't listened to it yet. Did you like it?
It's not prime Butch, but
okay.
It's not. But there's some good song. Listen to 77 Club, great song. With Ben, can we get him on the show though to ask if he wants it? Like, if we're gonna keep like telling everybody to sign this guy, like Ben, do you want to be in the NBA, Ben? Like, that's what we got to ask him, because we love his game, we love the IQ, the athleticism, the defensive versatility. But the thing is, like, I need to have a conversation with Ben. If I'm telling Knicks fans are going at me because I'm saying that Ben Simmons should be the guy that should be signed, but I might have to have a conversation with Ben to see if Ben wants it. That's the thing.
You can't talk to Knicks fans. Knicks fans,
they're at my neck, bro.
They don't know what they want. So it's funny. Yesterday, a list came out of the top 10 players from numbers on the board. We did a top 10 list if everybody was healthy.
I love this.
It's literally a list though combo that we made in 63 seconds.
Okay.
And people took it and had all of these opinions. And I'm like, dog, like, this is not a thought. Was made in a top 10 list made in 60 seconds is like whatever. But it was Knicks fans, and I'm a Knicks fan, obviously. That was like, where's Jalen Brunson? And I'm like, bro, stop fucking talking to me.
Was Cade on your list?
In what list?
Top 10 NBA players.
Fuck no. Why would Cade Cunningham be a top 10 NBA player?
Because he did more with less than anybody else.
That does not make you a top 10 NBA player.
Making your team better, P?
That does not make you a top 10 NBA player. Everybody in the top 10 does that. So why would that make him a top 10 player when everybody in the top 10 does that?
No.
Anthony Edwards ain't doing more with less?
No. Like, there are players with a worse supporting cast, with a better supporting cast that did not do nearly what Cade Cunningham has done this past year. Jalen Brunson, one of them. Like, think about
the Knicks.
Think about the 3 or 4 best players next to Jalen Brunson. Think about Malik Beasley was their second best player, bro.
But what does that mean, though?
Your ability to uplift the team and make everybody.
So let me ask you this question.
Okay.
When Derrick Rose won the MVP, he was better than LeBron James, or did he just win the MVP?
No, he was not better than LeBron James.
So what are we talking about? But with your theory, he was, because LeBron James had Bosh and Wade, and Derrick Rose had Noah and Boozer.
It's one of the things. But did you watch Cade play is another thing. I know
Yeah,
you watched it. I know you
yeah,
watched him
and he
play.
was not. And as much as I love Cade, this is what we have to take away our love, feel, and bias towards players, and we have a job and a duty to do.
That's fair.
As much as I love the Knicks, when you look at the 10 players that were on the list, Jalen Brunson is not better than any of them. I love Cade Cunningham more than guys that are on the top 10 list. He's not better. What makes you a top 10 player and what makes you who you are in the NBA, number one, is consistency. You have to do this shit at a high level for years. So when we talk about a Steph Curry, we talk about now and Anthony Edwards or Jayson Tatum. Jayson Tatum has done this for years. So Jalen Brunson doing it for the last 2 years does not put him over a Jayson Tatum who
I
has
agree.
done this for 6 years now.
I agree with that.
Cade Cunningham was magnificent, and I love him, and I think he's going to get better and better and better. But him doing that and making the playoffs 1 year and playing all right in the series that he did, because he ultimately lost to a team that went to the conference finals, and nobody predicted the Knicks to go to the conference finals. Nobody.
There's
Nobody.
a lot of nuance to this, P.
Nobody. And I wish anybody would
P.
come on my platform and try to tell me that they projected the Knicks to get that close to the NBA Finals,
Nah.
seeing what the Celtics and the Cavaliers and all of these other teams are doing. The Knicks was getting shitted on because they was 1 in 12 against all of those top teams. Nobody thought the Knicks was going to do what they did. So Cade Cunningham was good. He did his thing. But they ultimately lost to a better team. And we was able to put him on notice, but that don't make you a top 10 player. If that was the case to make you a top 10 player, the league would be fucked up right now. The league would be so fucked up if that's what it was. The top 10 would just be.
Cade,
where would Donovan Mitchell go?
Cade never, ever. We talked about Cade Cunningham in Oklahoma State. Never had a supporting cast. Even in Oklahoma State, was the best player in college basketball.
But
my
again,
thing was,
that don't make you top 10 though.
If you give him the Knicks roster, they're going to win the championship this year.
But this is why you can't have this argument. There's a long list of players we can have that argument for. If we played the if game, everything would be different. But you could play the if game for everybody.
No, but you also have to look at what he did.
The Sixers were healthy.
No, but what Cade did with this team is all facts.
It is, but you
look at the roster.
But you just did the if game, and that's all I'm saying. Listen, the NBA it has a bunch of talent in the NBA right now. It's the same conversation we have every year with these awards and All-Star. Everybody not going to make the cups, the list. So it's like, I'm appalled like that. This is even a conversation. When I thought a top 10 player, Cade Cunningham didn't even cross my fucking mind. Neither did Jalen Brunson.
What is Cade?
I don't know, because I only did a top 10 list. I don't walk around with a list in my pocket writing down every time somebody. I'm not that guy. I think lists to me are really irrelevant, right? But people fiend on and they ask us to do it, and I'll give my feedback there. But I don't walk around with this list in my pocket. Hey man, he just had 45. He moved up 1. He dropped down. Come on, man. Because again, it's consistency. But when you name some of the names like Nikola Jokic,
100%.
Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Yep.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Yep.
Luka Doncic.
Yep.
Jayson Tatum. Steph Curry. LeBron.
Steph Curry's
Durant.
Steph Curry and LeBron are not the same right now.
They're not, but they're still top 10 players.
They are.
They're not the same, because if they were, they wouldn't be at 8 and 9 on the list.
You do have to take this past season into consideration, even with the longevity piece.
Not that much.
Well, but now you're making the rules.
No, these always have been the rules. Because you're telling me 1 year of Cade Cunningham making the playoffs with the Pistons.
Yes, because
makes him better than Steph Curry?
From how I'm watching Cade, if he had a good enough supporting cast, he could have been doing this for a long time. You can't give none of those guys. Look, you can't give none of those guys what the teams that Cade had over the past few years and then do anything.
No, you can't. But that's the name of the game, though, Combo. That's the name of the game. If I gave Luka Doncic the Celtics when Tatum won it, he would have a championship. But that's what I'm saying. You can do that in every situation.
You give a lot of guys the Celtics. I mean, they had
That's
Drew
what
and
I'm
Derek
saying.
White. Yeah,
That shouldn't take away Jayson Tatum. That was the team he was on.
yeah, of
He
course
delivered
not.
and he won a championship. That's
Yeah,
what it is.
yeah.
I'm not going. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was on a team that won 68 games. The conversation can't be, man, you put Brunson on that team. You put Anthony Edwards on that team. You put Jokic on that team. Duh. If I would have gave fucking if I would have gave anybody, Durant, Clay, and Dre, but I'm not. Why would I say that about Steph Curry? He just playing the game. That's all. That's all. They can't control who they play for to that degree. So it's like, hey, I'm sorry. LeBron James, for the first stint, the best player he played with was Mo fucking Williams and Elgauskas.
Cade does everything, bro. He does.
He does.
He does. Like even some of those guys who are all
So
time.
does Victor Wembanyama.
Cade's. Yeah, I mean Victor's gonna be. He's probably next up. I mean he's
My
really
question to
generational.
somebody like you is, what's the rush? What's the rush?
He's here. He's
He
here.
is, but he's not top 10 here.
I don't know about that, P.
So tell me your top 10. I gotta hear. If you think Brunson, Cade, Vic, all of these guys are top 10,
like you said, you want me to make a top 10 in like 10 seconds? Like
no, but I think I just went through a bunch of names that you all said yes for. You didn't tell me no on any of those names.
I rather have me personally on my franchise. I'd rather have Cade Cunningham than Jayson Tatum without the injury. Me personally. I like players like that on my team. He makes everybody around him better. That's the kind of player I like, P.
Are you shitting me?
I'm dead ass, P.
Oh man. Okay. So you would have taken the Jason Kidd over Kobe Bryant, or you take Steve Nash over Kobe Bryant?
No.
Kobe, they make everybody around him better.
No, but guys like Michael Jordan, guys like Kobe Bryant have defied the odds. Like, I don't think the way they play is the most seamless way to make your teams better, but they were so great, they defied that. You see what I'm saying? They could run through a brick wall.
I'm trying to think of two guys that are on some type of parallel.
Do you see what I'm saying with that point, though?
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to figure out two guys on a parallel, because obviously
Jayson Tatum is not Kobe or Michael Jordan.
Absolutely not. Nobody is.
But that's what I'm saying. So I wouldn't put him over.
LeBron not.
I wouldn't put him
Kobe Bryant.
So I wouldn't put him over at Cade Cunningham. Like he's a
Would
better.
you put LeBron over Michael Jordan? Would you put LeBron over Kobe Bryant?
We're gonna do that today.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I'm trying to think of parallels.
I mean, we can
because I don't want I see Kobe Bryant and Steve Nash is here. But it's hard for me off the top of my brain to think of somebody that makes everybody's better, that's on the same catapult as Kobe Bryant. You know what I mean? Like, would you take Magic Johnson over Kobe Bryant?
That's very close. I would take Bird over Kobe Bryant. That's not ridiculous. Pete, don't laugh at that.
It's not.
Don't laugh at that.
It's not. I just forgot. It just made me remember you love Larry Bird a lot more than a lot of people I know. And no disrespect to Larry Bird, because if people hear me say that, they're going to make it seem like I think Larry Bird ain't shit. Larry Bird is a Hall of Famer. Larry Bird is a top 10 player of all time. But you personally love Larry Bird a lot. I think one time we talked, you damn near was thinking about putting Larry Bird like third all time or some shit for you.
You cannot deny that Larry Bird's peak was higher than Kobe's peak. I don't think anybody could deny that. Kobe's longevity, for sure.
The thing about those conversations is I didn't see Larry Bird.
Okay, that's fair.
So
I was very young. So.
I respect Larry Bird. I respect the history of the game, and because I respect my elders, I don't go out of my way to disrespect. Kobe Bryant, I'm extremely biased because I was there in the moment. I seen every single thing. Man. So instead of having that conversation, I would just revert to getting out of it before I have to go on here and be like, man, Larry Bird ain't shit. Larry Bird, because that's not that's not my thing.
Everybody has their own bias with this. The player you grew up with, you're going to have nostalgia towards. And I think that's part of the reason why I'm not as high on Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant's prime, the whole thing, 2008 to 2018, I was overseas. So I didn't get to see him as much. The time difference. So I'm even talking to my bias. We all have biases, you know.
Yeah, we all have. That's why I tell people it's about knowing how to navigate it.
You thought
Kobe
I was
is.
going to say some BS, and I said some real stuff. See, you
I
were
thought
looking
you were
at,
about to say some super BS because
and I
Kobe is the
didn't.
one that I'm ready to damn near
And
fight.
I know
I
you over
ruin
here, and I'm telling you something.
relationships about Kobe
And
the
I'm
way that
telling
they talking online. But
okay, I said some real stuff. I just want to let you
yeah,
know. Okay.
it's about navigating the bias because we all do. So what you have to do, what I try to tell a lot of people, and I don't know why I waste my time telling people because they don't want to do it anyway. Acknowledging the biasness that you have,
Okay.
admitting to it, pointing it out, and then knowing it. So now that I know I have a Kobe bias, I can go in there and understand I have a Kobe bias. Pierre, remember you have a Kobe bias. Kobe is not better than Michael Jordan. You have a Kobe bias. Okay, cool. That will stop me from saying Kobe is better than Michael Jordan because Kobe is not better than Michael Jordan. But you have certain people who are so biased that that's where the top 10 list comes from. I'm a Knick fan. I love Jalen Brunson. He's the best player on my favorite team, so he's my favorite player. So now I have to
Okay.
walk around saying he's top 10 when legitimately he's not. And even a Knick fan who loves Jalen Brunson as well is going to tell you, he's damn sure on the outside. He's knocking on the door, and if he continues to do what he's doing, but that top 10 list is some motherfuckers.
It's hard to compare. It's hard to compare you to other Knicks fans, though, because you're a professional.
Absolutely.
You're a
Exactly.
professional.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I understand that. But even when
But they
I
are.
wasn't,
But with that said, they are ridiculous.
when I wasn't a professional, I never was a jackass. I never was a jackass. Paul George, for a lot of my young, early 20 years, was my favorite player. I never told anybody Paul George was the best player in the league. I've always, all my life, and it's only because I was brought up around basketball by certain people.
Mm-hmm.
I never correlated my favorite to the best. I'm a White Sox fan. That don't make the White Sox the best team. I'm a Knicks fan. That don't make the Knicks the best team. I was a Knicks fan when they was winning 18 games. That's just a disconnect in today's world with social media where people think their favorite equals the best. No. No. No, that's a very big difference. Your favorite East Coast rapper from New York, I think, is Jadakiss.
Exactly.
But I don't think that you think Jadakiss is the best New York rapper of all time because that's a different conversation.
Because his discography doesn't even match up to a Jay-Z or Nas.
A Jay-Z or Nas, exactly.
I see what you're saying.
But that's why I tell you it's a difference. When I ask you who's the top 10 players in the league versus your favorite, the list should be totally different. Because my list is going to have a Kyrie Irving. That's one of my favorite players. But at this point, Kyrie Irving is not a top 10 player in the NBA. And people don't know how to pull the two apart, partially, like you said, because when
Here's
this
a
is
good
your
question.
career
Here's a good question.
and you get paid for it, you have to have some type of common sense.
Here's a good question. I'm looking at your tab.
It's important to get that message across because I know a lot of people online who want to make this a profession, but you will not be able to a certain degree if you don't pull that away because your word, your perspective, and how people take it is important. And if you are known as a person who is only biased, they can't give the real, then nobody's going to hear you talk.
I mean, we have as much as I am high on LeBron James, there's like people who do well in media that are just LeBron James fanboys. And they do well.
What is doing well?
They're like, major platform. They have a career, yourself. You're doing well. I think Pierre is doing well. So there are people with the major fanboy biases, and they talk about that on the internet. And kudos to them. I want everybody to do well. But so I don't know if that's true what you're saying. I think you can do it. I think you can do it fanboy way.
I don't think so.
Okay. And for me saying that, I'm opposite of fanboy. I'm a fan of no one or anything.
I think it depends on what you think is doing well. That's
a fact. Now,
me, I enjoy that people look at me as a respected basketball mind, and they come to me
to
hear what I want to say, no matter where I'm at. When I'm standing on numbers on the board with my other three brothers, people still want to hear what I have to say. When I'm on Twitter, just typing, people want to hear what I have to say. If I'm on here with you, people want to hear what I have to say. People respect when I give my opinion on something because it's going to come from a place where it's calculated, it's thought about, and it's going to come from somewhere real. You can't predict where I'm going to come
That's
from. The fanboys, you know exactly what they're going to do. You know exactly what they're going to
because
say, and that's why some of those people they on TV and they may be on somewhere where you turn the TV on, but when they go out there, shit, ain't nobody checking for them. You know how many people that's on TV that in real life people that I talk to, they're not looking for those people. How many people you know that ain't in the business but are fans of the game that follow these people? None of my homies is on Twitter typing to some of the people you're referring to. They're not seeking out with a, you know what I mean? Like, and I'll even drop a name like this, and it's respect. It's all love. But like when you talk about people,
we're about to go in a different direction, but go ahead.
when you talk about people that really love certain people, like what's my guy's name? Like Nick Wright. Nick Wright is a big LeBron guy, right?
Well, that's I mean, you said it, so that's who I was talking about.
But
So
he's
yeah,
a big LeBron guy, right?
100%, 100%.
All respect to Nick Wright, because I have no beef with Nick Wright. I watched him when I was growing up.
Right.
And I think Nick Wright does itself a little bit of a disservice with the LeBron shit because Nick Wright be saying some shit, or at least when I used to watch heavily, he would say some shit that I would be like, oh, he talking that shit. But a lot of people only know him as a LeBron guy. So because of that, like when I'm in my group chat, my friends ain't like following Nick Wright and tweeting Nick Wright to get his opinion on shit. He's just the guy that's on TV talking.
Because your supporters and friends and fan base comes from a certain fabric, and Nick Wright's supporters, friends, and fan base come from a different fabric, and it's just different. It's just different. That's why you don't see it in your world. That world is different.
But that's what I'm saying. You have to pick what world is you. For Nick Wright, he's doing. Hey, I always look at people do well by living the life you want to live and take care of your
100%.
family, and that's what
100%.
Nick Wright is doing. So kudos to him. And like I said, it's all love. I'm not coming from a disrespectful place. I'm just putting reality to what we're saying. But for me, that wouldn't be.
You have a very old school mentality though, like principles and morals, and you know.
I'm just. Do I?
I think
I don't want to disrespect anybody for like.
no,
I
no,
wouldn't
no, no,
want to wake up
not
and
about
disrespect.
not about the Nick Wright stuff. I'm talking about like the consistency of in-depth basketball analysis, trying to take the bias away from it. But what I'm saying is, you can be successful doing some other stuff.
If it lines up with how you like whatever's successful for you. I
Right,
haven't
right.
seen it.
Okay.
I haven't seen too many like as Through the Wire, we went on tour. We did a tour, city tour. I don't be seeing people do that by trolling online. I haven't seen anybody in the basketball community troll their way into a tour. I don't see
100%.
people trolling their way into live shows. I don't see people trolling their way into crazy deals. Like I don't be seeing that shit. I see popular Twitter pages, but is that successful in this lane? I don't know. But if it's successful to you, not you, Combo, but if it's successful
There you
to
go.
that individual person, by all means, I don't want to knock success off of anybody's plate. But I do think that when you talk about the industry and you talk about a career, right? Like a career, a legacy. I'm not sure. You know what I mean? Like I don't think Stephen A. If Stephen A. came on here, I don't think Stephen A. would say you could troll your way into that. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. Even Nick Wright.
I don't think he
Nick
no,
Wright
but
is a
I don't
LeBron guy, but
I
he ain't
I don't
like I
think
said, he
yeah,
said some shit.
but I
He
think
ain't troll his way to
yeah.
the.
I don't yeah, but you brought the word trolling into it. I wasn't even talking about trolling. I was just talking about what somebody who's super biased towards one player would do,
But
you know?
part of that to me is trolling
Okay.
because it's hard for me
Well,
to
Nick
believe that.
Wright is that he's not trolling, but he's super LeBron fanboy, obviously, at the same
I think
time.
the LeBron thing is different because it's fucking LeBron. But
Yeah.
there are certain things, and what I'm talking about with the extreme bias shit is again, if you love Paul George and you say Paul George is the best player in the NBA, a part of me is like, that's some sort of trolling because there's no way you watch the NBA and you think that.
Well, there's NBA players who said he was the GOAT.
Their GOAT.
Okay.
It's a difference. It's like my top 10 versus the top 10.
By the way,
my GOAT
yeah, go ahead.
ain't the GOAT. The GOAT is Michael Jordan. My GOAT is Kobe Bryant. But
Okay.
I'm smart enough to know consensus history. The reality of the world is people ain't got Kobe Bryant as the number one player of all time. That's Michael Jordan. I'm smart enough to know that. But for me, in my heart, Kobe is my number one. Penny is my number two. Like, those are my guys. You don't think Carmelo's son, Kai and Anthony, you don't think he thinks that Paul George is the greatest player to ever play basketball, do you? When he says that's my GOAT. It sounds like that's just his favorite player of all time.
That's fair.
Yeah, I don't think the kids believe that Paul George is the undisputed greatest player to ever touch a basketball in NBA history. I don't think that that's what they mean when they say that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't. That's not. Again, because then it's just like that. That would be a level of trolling to me. One of the things that we kind of got off track from that I did want to ask you.
Go ahead.
How do you evaluate summer league? This is I'm just very curious. I don't think it's a right or wrong answer. I'm just curious to know, because this is a time for overreactions. So a guy struggles and everybody's like, oh man, he's a bust. Or a guy plays out of his mind and it's like, oh man, he's the best shit ever. Like, how do you personally evaluate that?
I do think when you're a top draft pick and you struggle in summer league, it is concerning, but not the end of the world. Like Trae Young struggled a little bit.
Exactly.
You know, and Trae Young is the most underappreciated.
Is he top 10?
Trae Young's not top 10, but man, he's top 10 all time underappreciated. I'll tell you that. Man, Trae Young is tough.
Trae Young or Cade Cunningham?
Cade Cunningham, because of the defense. Okay. Yeah. But yeah, so that is a concern with a top pick.
Because you taking Cade Cunningham over Jayson Tatum.
I think he's better, bro. But we're gonna keep going.
We're gonna get back to that shit, but I just wanted to get that out of my mind.
I got time today. All right.
Okay.
Yeah, so that is a concern. And then there's times where people could, you remember people like, who was it, Josh Selby? What was he dropping?
Yes.
Wasn't he dropping like 40 or 50?
Summer League MVP.
Shouts to him because he's a bucket. But yeah,
Summer
so
League MVP. Vanderblue.
But you always have to look at, whether in college or in the NBA, you can't look at the actual game. You got to look at the player's skill set and how it'll translate to the NBA game. And I think that's an important way to look at it.
Boom. I agree. Yeah. That's my number one thing. Translatable skill set.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Hey, that's why I wasn't high on Jimmer all of those years ago. Before I was even a professional.
Perfect example.
I was never high on Jimmer. I loved him as a college basketball player, but even teenage Pierre talking to his friends at lunch was like, it's no way y'all think Jimmer Fredette is going to come into the NBA, dribble past half court and shoot and just kill the NBA, right? You don't think that that's going to happen.
How about just that archetype of player just ends up being overseas? Like, if you're a 5'10" absolute killer bucket getter, but you don't do anything else very well, it's almost impossible for you to play in the NBA.
Yeah. That's why my boy had to go over there.
And that don't mean you're any better or worse than Derek Lively, right? But Derek Lively fits a specific skill set for the NBA. Is he better than Mike James? Exactly. Is Derek Lively way better basketball player than Mike James?
No, that he fits the NBA and what they want to do.
100%.
Because the NBA is about complementing the Luka Doncic's, the Anthony Edwards.
Timmy is better basketball player to me than Derek Lively, just as a basketball player.
Timmy who?
Drew Timmy is a better basketball player than Derek Lively. Derek Lively has a way more important skill set for the NBA than Drew Timmy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so there's you could go.
Don't sleep on Derek Lively now.
No. I could pull up the receipts on how high I thought, how perfect of a pick that was. I had Corey in studio for that, and I talked about that.
I love that one too.
Yeah. So I talked about how I love.
I also like the Jalen Hood-Schifino one.
Yeah.
That's another story.
Yeah. So no, like it depends on how your skill set fits in the NBA and how you fit around other star players, unless you are the star player, right? That's important too.
That's what I think it is. I think it's like, if you ain't a star, again, that goes back to the Jimmer thing. I didn't see Jimmer as a star in the NBA. So it's like, if he's not going to be a star, they're not letting him do that. He's not going to be able to play like that. He likes to burst. He's not going to be able to get downhill. He wasn't a pick and roll player. Yeah, he wasn't going to be able to guard. And so now you banking on him just shooting all these long ass threes that shit is not going to fly in the NBA because he's going to be drafted to complement a guy like a DeMarcus Cousins, and it just ain't going to work. And so that's the
Here's
translatable
here,
thing. Can
here-
you translate your game to complement somebody? Because 9 times out of 10, when you get drafted, you got to be in a 0.01% to turn into the guy. You know what I mean? Even the Hornets got LaMelo, a team that we look at as like a not a good team. Even they got a LaMelo. So even if you get drafted by there, Kon Kneuppel, you finna compliment him. Every team really got like at least one guy that you ain't about to just come in and get your shit off, at least not from day one. So you better be able to do some things that will complement that player until it's your time or opportunity to show that you can do more.
Can you guard everybody? Can you guard anybody? Can you shoot? Really important factors for role players. Like
Yeah,
if you're watching your favorite summer league player, and he's dropping 40 in a playoff game. Can this guy guard anybody? Can this guy guard everybody? Can he
I
make a
think
spot up jump?
I think shooting is trumping everything, man.
Well, that's
'Cause
even for stars
it,
now.
it's guys that can defend, but they like, man, if they ain't if the other team ain't guarding you, we damn near can't even play you. And then it's guys who can shoot, and they like, fuck it, he can't guard, but he can shoot.
Well,
That it's just
no,
like get out there.
okay, so it's funny. Like Josh Hart had some of that issue this year without the shooting, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then you look at the other side of the spectrum. Luke Kennard is an amazing shooter, but he can't guard. So
Mm-hmm.
sometimes he's unplayable. You
Yep.
know, so I think all of those are really important. Can you get away with not
But
having one of them?
that's why I said that, because in that OKC series, they was like, fuck it. We need shooting so bad that Luke
Right,
Kennard is now playing.
right, right,
Because
right,
it's
right.
like he can't guard a Shea or J-Dub or any of these guys. But we are struggling so much from the perimeter that Luke Kennard, you got to go out there and play. The Heat with Duncan Robinson. There's been plenty of times where Duncan Robinson couldn't guard shit out there. He's grown a little bit because this is the Miami culture and it's the only way he was going to be able to play. But it was times that the Heat was like, you know what, like, fuck it, like
Mad random. Sorry to change something. What do you think about Kneuppel's defense?
Kneuppel. You throwing me off for Kneuppel.
All right, Kneuppel, go ahead, Pete. You know who I'm talking about, man.
Because you're going to start making me say Kneuppel. I used to say Kneuppel, and then I watched a bunch of Duke games, and they were saying nipple, and I was like, nipple.
Who says they're right? But whatever, they're probably right. Whatever.
Yeah, I would assume because they probably talked to him,
right?
You know. But what do I think of his defense? I think it's good in a team element.
Okay.
Which is concerning because the Hornets, as of right now, for what we know, is not a team-oriented, elemented defense. But we saw when he had Maluach behind him, Cooper Flagg behind him, he was able to hold his own.
Yeah.
See, that's all you really look for. I don't think everybody got to shut some shit down because it's the NBA, but you got to be able to hold your own. You know what I mean? Like hold your own.
Here's a good question for you. This will bring the conversation like to a good place.
That's why the Klay Thompson with a better layup package. I was like, hold up, slow your roll. Klay Thompson was putting on Kyrie Irving. Kon Kneuppel ain't getting put on Kyrie Irving.
That was saucy. That was a saucy take. I like that take. Oh, it's my take. My fault. Here's a good question for you. Who has the best chance to win Rookie of the Year? Not named
outside of Cooper Flagg.
Not named Cooper Flagg.
Trey Johnson.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm playing towards the way that they like the award. The award is really about scoring.
Right.
Who can score that motherfucker? So he's going to be a guy in Washington. I don't see too many people getting into his way of scoring. It ain't like Alex Sarr, some isolation guy. Like he's surrounded by some really good players, but they ain't really taking the ball away from him. So I think he'll be able to really come in there and get his shit off from day one. Ace Bailey, who in the Jazz is really stopping him from doing anything he want to do. So if he get hot going early and he finds a rhythm, I can see that. I'm trying to think of some other people. Who you thinking? Kon Kneuppel?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I actually do think he's going to win Rookie of the Year, even with the Cooper stuff.
Hey, shout out to you to coming on my platform to just say any fucking thing. Cade over Tatum. Cade top 10. Kneuppel gonna win the shit over fucking Cooper Flagg. Hey, man, I may have to have you as a co-host. If you're gonna be on this type of time, you can come on the show anytime you want, man.
Wait. Is Christian? Is he time stamping these? Because that was good right there. That was good.
Oh, if he ain't, he will. I think Jeremy is. Jeremy is probably writing all of this shit down.
Because I'm making some short form content out of this episode.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I do. You know how I do. Yeah,
I got you. You tell my
all right,
people to send you what you
all
need. You
right,
post this shit.
all right.
Let's you want to
Uh,
go viral, I see.
yeah,
You want to
viral.
go viral.
Yeah.
Any other what other hot takes you got? Let me know. Talk to me. Basketball landscape, everything is wide
Oh,
open.
here's a good one.
Come on. Shoot.
Paige Bueckers
I
will
lo-
be known to be a better basketball player than Caitlin Clark when it's all said and done.
Nah, we can't do that one.
Why not?
Cuz I'm biased. I'm a Page super
Okay,
fan. That's my Kobe
we
Bryant.
know.
Like
No. We know
I
you're
would
a
end relationships about Page.
no. Well, we know
Little Ari at home
we know
got a
you're
Page
but
jersey. She
but
don't have no other
P
jersey, but Ari got a Page jersey.
but P. We know you're a pro. Take the bias out. Do you agree with me without the
Yes.
bias?
I agree before she ever stepped foot in
Oh,
the fucking NBA.
see, the take isn't hot enough.
She's the great. I think to me, she's the greatest that I've watched.
That's a hot take.
And I'm going off the UConn. I just love her game. Like she's just like she does her shit. That I said for me that I've watched. Like you know what I mean? No, I take that back. I'm a big Diana Taurasi fan. That was like my favorite of all. That Diana Taurasi is my Kobe actually. And I seen peak WNBA.
Wasn't she throwing some shots at Caitlin at some point, or she was like she wasn't gonna. Yeah,
I don't get in women's business.
Oh wow! I mean, we're trying to cover all the leagues here. P. We're trying to cover all the leagues.
I love Simone Augustus. You remember her from LSU?
Yeah.
Incredible game. I love Sue Bird, Diana Taurasi, obviously Candace Parker. That's one of my go-to coming from the Chicagoland area. Do you remember a woman by the name of Ivory Latta?
No.
She played at UNC. She was, oh my gosh. Her NBA career, I don't think
WNBA career.
WNBA career, but she was, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. You got like this is like she's like who would I say? She was like Kyrie, like of college at UNC. I'm talking about Ivory Latta was a dog. Shout out to Ivory Latta, whatever she's doing. Another person who I love. This is a crazy story. The world is very small. So back years ago, I was a kid. My aunt dated this guy, right? And he used to play basketball. Come to find out, no. Let me revert. My aunt dated this guy. Shout out to Ron, right? And he played basketball, and I'm real close to my aunt, especially back then. So like they would go on dates, and she would bring me. Like they would take me to like their dates would be like taking me somewhere. We used to have this place in where I live called like Kittyland, which was like a smaller Great America. And they would like she would take me to Kittyland, and he would go to, you know what I mean? And we would talk or whatever. And he would be like, "Yeah, I play basketball. My sister bust your ass." And I'm young. I'm like 8, 9, 10. And I'm like, whatever. I'm thinking he's talking about another 10-year-old. My dad knows who he is. They start dating. My dad like, "Oh, I know Ron. His sister Cole." Guess who his sister is? Cappy Pondexter.
Oh wow.
So I'm like, I remember like growing up, like getting older. I'm in my mind when he's talking about his sister, I'm thinking of another 10-year-old girl. He's talking about Cappy Pondexter. So I'm watching, and like I go to my dad's house one day, and women's college basketball is playing, and there's Cappy Pondexter playing, and he's like, "That's Ron's sister right there." And I'm like, "What the fuck? That's his sister." I'm thinking, and then Cappy obviously went to the NBA, and did her thing and everything like that. So I feel like I seen incredible women's basketball. I love to see where the game is going now with the attention. They getting their own shoes. You know what I mean? We got Angel Reese, Aja Wilson was on a 2K covers. I was just in Dick's Sporting Goods 2 days ago. They got their own section of the jerseys. Aja Wilson, Angel Reese, Paige Bueckers, Caitlin Clark. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the game is in the Juju Watkins is going to be a star. You know, she's probably going to be the GOAT. But I love where it is today. But I do feel like when I was growing up, and Gino was running UConn, and they had that well oiled machine, and Sue Bird, Diana Taurasi, and then you had Pat Summitt with the Tennessee Vows, and you know what I mean. Now you got Dawn Staley and everything. Like the game for them is incredible. So to answer your question, yeah, I personally like Paige more than Caitlin. I've never went out and publicly said that because I feel like Angel Reese and Caitlin are just used as punching bags, and I don't want my words to be taken as me trying to slight Caitlin Clark. So I just rather just boost up Paige. The women's game is I don't really want to do the whole shit that we do in the men's game in the women's game because it get nasty. They using them for a lot more than what it really is. Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, and then you bring in politics and racism, and this is like, what the
Yeah,
hell?
no,
You know what I mean? So
yeah,
I
yeah.
try to just pump them up. I
I'm
love
a
Caitlin Clark. I love Angel Reese. I love Paige. Paige is my favorite, but I love them all, damn it.
yeah.
I
So
don't got, you know,
shouts to Joe Bud because I was listening. He was like, "Yeah, when you're talking about those two, Caitlin and Angel, you're not talking about basketball anymore." He's like,
yeah,
"That's what I realized."
I learned that fast.
I'm like, that's right. He's right about that.
I learned that real fast on Twitter. That shit was getting like very, very nasty.
Yeah.
And yeah, we in a space where we should just keep pumping the game up so it can get better and better and higher, and they can get paid more. And even that conversation. Let me ask you a question, Combo.
Okay.
In what fucking world would you ever say that somebody shouldn't be paid more? Like, why do we live in these times today? They wore the shirts at the All-Star game and said, pay us what you
It
owe us or something like that.
almost
And it's people like, man, no. I have never in my life heard somebody say, pay me more. And I was like, no, you shouldn't want more money. Like, what the fuck are we talking about in society? Like, even if it wasn't the
Yeah,
WNBA.
does it mean that they'd be happy if they were paid less? Like, I'm happy that person's getting paid
Yeah,
less.
I don't know. Like, it's just a weird time that we living in, man.
You
I've
know?
never seen like, oh, McDonald's strikers are going on thing, and I'm like, oh no, fuck that. McDonald workers don't deserve more. It's just it's a
I'm
weird
with you.
time that we
Yeah,
live
I want to see everybody get
in. Me
paid as much
too.
as they can get paid.
Yeah.
You know?
It really, especially when it don't affect me. What a WNBA player makes don't got shit to do with anything that I'm doing, especially the people on Twitter.
You heard Jay-Z, what you eat don't
Don't
make
make
me.
me shit.
There you go. I didn't want
And
to.
J. Cole took it to another step.
Okay.
Cade Cunningham. I
Here
want to
we
play
go.
a little game. Shout out to producer Christian. He put in the top 10 list that we did on the Numbers on the Board show. That was real, like, spar of the moment. And we did it if everybody was healthy. I want
Okay.
to ask you names, and you tell me if you're taking Cade over them or not. This is just for you. Your thoughts. Jokic or Cade?
Jokic.
Giannis or Cade? Oh my fucking goodness. We going viral
Wait.
today.
Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. Who am I starting my franchise around today?
Man, however you want to answer the question. I'm not
Let's
here to
go
get into
Giannis,
the
man. I'm not trying to go too
Okay.
diabolical. All right.
Okay.
All right.
SGA or Cade Cunningham?
SGA.
I already asked you Tatum. I'm gonna do it again so they can make this one clip. Tatum or Cade Cunningham?
Cade Cunningham.
You want to expound, or should we just go name by name?
I like the archetype of player that Cade is more than Tatum. I believe he makes everybody around him better. And that's the type of player I want to build my franchise around. Nothing against Tatum. Great player. And that's all.
Luka or Cade?
Luka.
Joel Embiid or Cade?
Cade.
Steph Curry or Cade?
Current day Cade.
LeBron or Cade?
Man, LeBron, because when LeBron's at his best, it's LeBron still.
Anthony Edwards or Cade?
Ant-Man.
Kevin Durant or Cade?
Current day Cade.
Okay.
All time, Kevin Durant's not even close. Like, right? I'm just saying current day Cade, though.
Let me add some more names just for my damn self.
Okay. I like this.
I don't even know if I should, because if you're saying you're going to take
Let's
Cade
just do
over
it.
Tatum,
It's good. It's good. It's good for what we're doing.
Brunson or Cade?
Cade.
Kawhi or Cade?
Cade.
Anthony Davis or Cade?
Cade.
Paolo Banchero or Cade?
Cade clearly.
Damn, why you put clearly for him and not the others?
Because me and Coach Nick get into this. That's why.
Okay.
It's prior talks.
Shout out to Coach Nick.
Shouts to Coach Nick. We had a great recording at Summer League. Shouts to Coach Nick.
Donovan Mitchell or Cade?
Cade.
Ja Morant or Cade?
That is tough because.
So you say Cade easily over some of these motherfuckers like Jayson Tatum, and then I bring up Ja.
I'm gonna say because it's Ja, man. Ja, man. Come on, Ja.
That's a fucking clip because it's Ja, man. Ja, man.
Because Ja is like, he's generational, bro. He's generational.
What? Hey, combo.
Cade.
Ja Morant is what?
Ja Morant is generational.
In what way?
Come on, let's not. I don't want to go into that because I didn't see. Here's the thing. Like how
and I love Ja. I just
I love Ja too.
Yesterday for $350.
This is almost like the Kalen Angel thing. Like we're going to be talking about stuff that has nothing to do with basketball if we go down this path. So let's just say Cade.
No, I want to know why Ja's generational. It shouldn't. Off the court stuff, the guns and all of that.
I mean, off the court stuff.
It shouldn't have to do with anything him being. I asked you why he's generational. That should be strictly on court. Your answer.
Because he has elite IQ with elite athleticism, and he's one of the most box office players to ever live.
Hey, I'm gonna start calling you sweet baby combos because you saucing the hell out of some shit. He's one of the most box office players of all time.
Prime Ja Morant.
Yes, prime Ja Morant.
Yeah, you could say the same thing about Zion too. Like, but just in terms of box office ability,
I think Zion is higher than Ja in the box office shit.
Oh no, man. I mean, it's close. Zion is up there. Yeah.
My thing is the all-time shit. If you say it in the last 10 years, cool. But you know, all-time is like fucking Michael Jordan, LeBron James, is Magic Johnson, 6'9" point guard.
I think the thing, like everybody looks at Ja's
Derrick Rose.
Yeah, he's
Russell Westbrook.
Ja Morant, if things go smooth for him, he's Derrick Rose level. I know. This is crazy. Why not?
I see the parallels.
Oh man,
I think Derrick Rose was a better basketball player.
That hit you close. I messed up. I need to get. How do I get on blurry? It was so much of a hot take. I got out of focus. Hopefully it'll come back. I think we're getting there.
It'll set itself up. No, you just threw me a curveball. I love Ja Morant, and that's why these conversations are funny because I don't want it to come off as if I don't like these players.
Mm-hmm.
But when you say you're taking Cade over Tatum and all these guys with no thought, and then we get to Ja, I damn near wasn't even going to say Ja because I'm like, man, if he's going to take him over Cade, if he's going to take him over Tatum, he damn sure going to take him over. So who would you take, Ja or Tatum?
I'm taking Ja over Tatum, man. But Ja is in a weird spot right now, man. I think he's more generational than Tatum. How about that?
That New York weed getting good, huh? Tyrese Halliburton or Cade?
You know I love Tyrese's game. But Cade.
Yeah, you do.
But Cade.
Tyrese Halliburton or Tatum?
Tyrese.
Hey, bro. What Jayson Tatum do to you, bro?
No. People have been saying this, just like
what is Jayson Tatum do?
Like Derek White and Drew Holiday were the true winners of that team.
Get the fuck out of here.
Get
the fuck out of here. Jayson Tatum, he was winning before those guys got there. You know that, right?
When did they win a championship, though, P?
But he was winning.
Of course he was winning. He's a great player.
The motherfucker is a baby to me. He's a baby to me. So why did he need to win a championship at 23?
No, he didn't need to.
His first whatever years he won more than any of his peers before.
When
Kyrie was hurt. Hayward was hurt. They went to the Eastern Conference Finals his rookie year off his back with the two best players being hurt. That's before Jaylen Brown was even Jaylen Brown.
Back then, I was the one saying, all the way back then, you might think this is a hot take. Jaylen Brown is a lot closer to Jayson Tatum than people think.
I know. We used to argue about that because I thought you was, with all due respect, I thought you was a damn fool for that.
Why? And we saw who won Finals MVP. We saw it come to fruition.
What does that mean? Andre Iguodala won
nothing.
Steph.
It means nothing. Yeah,
Iguodala won it over Steph.
This is not an Andre Iguodala, Steph Curry thing. This is not a Scottie Pippen, Michael Jordan thing. This is not that. They are way closer. That's what I'm trying to say than those situations.
They were.
Thank you.
I think it's pretty damn separated now.
You know what? Jaylen Brown has had like a kind of like iffy seasons, kind of like a little bit.
I'm aware.
Yeah,
I'm aware.
Yeah.
That's why Jayson Tatum is like.
So your argument.
Cut. That's why you don't bring that up no more.
Your argument. See, I just gave you credit for that statement. I gave you your credit. It's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
We're gonna redo this. So I thought you was just really rocking with Cade, right? Because we both love Cade.
How am I not? I got Cade over those guys. How am I not?
You do. So I thought it was about Cade. This shit ain't about Cade. This shit is about Tatum. So this is what I'm gonna do. Jayson Tatum or Steph Curry?
Steph Curry.
Jayson Tatum or Luka?
Luka.
Jayson Tatum or Anthony Edwards?
Anthony Edwards.
Jayson Tatum or Jimmy Butler?
Oh, that's tough. That's a good one, though. I'll say Tatum, man. I'll say Tatum.
Jayson Tatum or
right
Joel
now.
Embiid?
By the way, bubble Jimmy Butler over bubble Tatum. Go ahead.
Okay.
Okay. Tatum. I can't do it with Joel. I know we're going full health, but come on. I can't.
Okay. Jayson Tatum or Mitchell? Donovan?
Tatum.
Tatum or Paolo Banchero?
Tatum.
Tatum or Anthony Davis?
That's good. That's good. Because I think like Anthony Davis is almost underrated at this point. But
damn near, yeah.
Yeah. I'll have to say Tatum because he's the guy that could create, you know, like his own a little bit more. So yeah, I'll say him. But it's close.
Tatum or Towns?
Tatum, man. Tatum.
Oh man, Jayson Tatum about to become my favorite player. Y'all disrespecting the fuck out of this guy.
Not a lot of
Jayson Tatum or Kevin Durant?
Kevin Durant.
Jayson Tatum or Evan Mobley?
Yo, the Evan Mobley thing. People are going overboard with Evan Mobley. Some of the people, people are saying Evan Mobley's better than Anthony Edwards. I see people saying that. I think you commented me on Twitter about that. That was crazy. That was crazier than anything I've heard. Evan Mobley over Anthony Edwards is crazier than anything I've said today.
You think so?
No?
I'm asking you. I'm not. Okay.
Yes, I've heard that. Yes. No.
Because Cade over Tatum is fucking close.
No, it's not. If you really, I think, no. Because if you really watch them both play.
One of my Cade Cunningham comparisons was Jayson Tatum.
He's too great of a facilitator, bro.
Jayson Tatum is an underrated facilitator.
He got better.
Cade Cunningham does not score the ball like Jayson Tatum.
That's true. That's fair.
But I'm just saying a comp because both bigger. Jayson Tatum ain't the point guard. Cade got him there, but they both can handle the ball, and Jayson Tatum can facilitate.
I like
Tatum
Cade's intangibles better.
Now you're just saying shit to just give Cade a.
I knew you. See, I know you so well that I knew you would think that. But leadership matters, bro.
Jayson Tatum, I can't wait for you to come back, man. Man, he's giving you so much bulletin board material, Tatum. I can't wait for you to come back and win MVP.
Tell you something. No matter what I say on any
Tatum or Harden.
Oh man, are we doing current day? Or are we doing all time?
Whatever you want to do. We damn sure not doing all time because I mean Rockets Harden is arguably third best shooting guard of all time.
Harden's better player, man. Harden's
Kawhi or Tatum?
Kawhi.
Chet Holmgren or Tatum?
Tatum's better. I like Chet's game better, but Tatum's better.
Cooper Flagg or Tatum?
Come on, man. Don't do that to Cooper.
Cooper, Flagg, or Tatum?
Tatum's better right now, but Cooper will be better. Go ahead.
You crazy. Give me Jayson Tatum. Pascal Siakam or Tatum?
Ooh,
You just said, ooh?
Tatum.
Oh man. This is great. Some things I want to wrap up with, because we also do the non-basketball shit, but there's still some basketball. What's your thoughts on this LeBron Drake stuff?
Oh my God.
What's your thoughts on this LeBron Drake stuff?
Why are they both so passive aggressive?
Oh, I love this. This is why we great together, combo. This is why we great together.
Why can't they just say what they feel?
As a guy who likes both of them, I find it funny that everybody, like, you got so many people on Twitter picking these sides and doing these different things. They are so like similar that it's fucking crazy. They are so similar that it makes sense that they going about the shit the same way. Like they're so similar. They are the same type of guys that it makes all of the sense of the world. That's why, like, I laugh all day when I'm seeing people on there like, man, LeBron was wrong or blah 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 blah. I'm not here to say who was right or wrong, because that's a friendship that I don't know either. I don't know what is going on there, but it has come into the social media sphere, and they are very, very similar to me. They're very, very similar, bro. They're both like very, I don't even know the word. You passive aggressive is a great word.
Petty?
But both petty, but they both have like this. They both have this insecurity with being as great as they are. Every human in the world has insecurities. All of us. So I understand that they have insecurities.
That's the point. It don't matter if you become the greatest in something. Your mindset is your mindset, you know?
Yeah, but it's just crazy to see that they're both great. But it's like that insecurity of being the greatest kind of makes them so what's the word? So like fragile. Like LeBron, and I love LeBron. I love LeBron. I've seen his entire career.
Mhm.
Like that, like he's one of the guys I've literally seen start to finish. LeBron was drafted in 2003. That was like peak me getting into like, I have LeBron James rookie card that's like holographic. I watched him get drafted. I have posters of LeBron when he was in high school. I seen the phenomenon. You know what I mean? Like LeBron was on the news when I was a kid, like Fox News. Look at LeBron James between the legs dunk in a high school game. Like,
no matter, the thing about LeBron, I want you to keep going, is like, if you do what we do, you're gonna, throughout the course of your career, you're gonna have some people say that you're a LeBron hater, and then you're gonna have some people that say you're a Bron sexual.
yeah, I've definitely been on both sides.
Like
I really think I'm right in the middle.
Okay.
I love LeBron, but I'm going to hold him accountable.
But fans have called you both, I'm sure.
Yes, absolutely.
That's how it goes. Yeah, go ahead.
But I'm more on a Bron. What is it called?
I can't even call you that, bro. That's disrespectful.
What is it though?
The Bron sexual, because like
I'm more on that side than a hater. If like
but I'm gonna. But like, how does somebody call you that? Like
that's crazy.
It's
but
crazy.
If you're gonna have two sides, I'm more of LeBron love than hate. I don't have any hate towards LeBron. I love LeBron. Yeah. But no matter what player I love, none of these guys are perfect to me. So when you miss a game-winning shot, or you pass up a shot, or you get your ass bust, hey, I have to say, LeBron, you can't do that, bro. You know what I mean? Like I have a job to do. But I've seen all of Drake's career as well. From comeback, well, I can't say all of it. When he dropped his first project, Room for Improvement, I was not hip to Drake. But from comeback season to now, I was there, and I was really there for the So Far Gone moment.
100%.
And yeah, they both want this #1 undisputed title. And you have like the Michael Jordan for LeBron, you have the Jay-Z or whatever for like a Drake. And it's like that shit just makes them kind of fragile. You know what I mean? It's like they go out of their way to try to, and I think it hurts them a little bit, because the two guys that they're kind of quote unquote chasing, theoretically, are so opposite. Michael Jordan don't spend his time talking about I'm the GOAT. Like that, he lets it all speak for himself. Jay-Z ain't around trying to prove that he's the best or like going out of his way to say I'm him. You know what I mean? They kind of just let it speak for itself. And I think that's advantageous compared to trying to every time you have a chance say how good you are. You know what I mean? Um, but they're so similar. They're so similar, bro. They're so similar.
Do you think Jay and Michael
Love
Jordan?
both.
You think Drake and Michael Jordan are like that because conventional wisdom and consensus says they are the GOAT, so they don't have anything to prove?
Mm-hmm. But also from what I was told, um, my dad claims that that was never Michael
Shouts to
Jordan.
Pops.
Yeah, shout out to Pops. He tells me that was never Michael Jordan's thing.
That's
Like
true too. That's
Michael
true
Jordan
too.
was never at the podium trying to say that I'm the greatest of all time. Like,
Right.
during the runs and things that I wasn't there for because I wasn't around to see Jordan's post game interviews every other
He used
night.
to give like credit to Dr. J way early in his career.
That's
Like,
what my
yeah,
dad said.
yeah,
Michael
yeah,
Jordan was more of boosting the people before him instead of trying to tell you that he was better than them in any certain way.
yeah.
And so, yeah, I love LeBron though. I love Mike. I love Jay. I love Drake. It's just funny that some of these things have become talking points. One of the things my boy Christian put in here um, that I'm gonna bring up is tattooing a player on your body.
It's crazy. It's crazy work.
So you think you're against that? Because Drake had the LeBron James, and then he covered it up
You
with
know,
like a
P, I'm
Shea.
a different kind of guy. Like, I go
Drake
to
is different, I think, because he actually knows them. Then you also have, I think, Carlick Jones got the LeBron tattoo. Did you see that when they played against each other in the Olympics?
yeah, I'm not a tattoo guy, but I would never. You couldn't. There's no amount of money you could pay me to tattoo somebody else on me. Sorry.
Somebody else that you don't know, or somebody else in general.
Yeah, just somebody. I don't know. Somebody else. Yeah, it's somebody else, bro.
But
Like,
you have a son.
okay, yes, I'm against tattoos, but my son is great. Yes, my son could be on my tattoo. That's it,
Okay,
though.
that's what I'm saying. That's
Yeah,
what I'm
yeah, yeah,
saying.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Would you get your mom,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
parents?
stuff like that. Yeah, the
But
stuff
you
like that.
mean like
Like on
I'm
some
not
like
getting fucking Lauryn Hill tattooed on my shoulder.
that or any kind of fanboy stuff, bro. Like that's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
That's to me. That's I don't want to say nasty work because I don't want to disrespect anybody out there, but it is what it is.
Do you do you think that do you think that I don't want to sound like an old head. What's your feelings just about like the state of the culture right now with basketball, rap, and hip hop? Just you know what I mean? What you feeling about this era?
Oh, so we got to sound like old head with this conversation.
I'm just curious.
Well, I think what I've learned from people in the music industry, which sounds crazy to me, is that it doesn't matter about the music as much anymore.
Huh? I agree. I agree.
I still can't wrap my head around that. Like,
So,
so like we're podcasters, right? Me and
uh-huh.
you. I think what we're great at is we are consistent. We're true to the craft.
Mhm.
We love it. All that other stuff is cool. Like we go to events, we go to summer league, but what we love to do is the craft.
Absolutely.
Now, if you're a rapper and you don't love to rap and put out music, but you want to be a rapper, like, so are you just living a rapper lifestyle or what people think is a rapper lifestyle on Instagram and on social media? Is
Probably, yeah.
that is that what it is now? Like, because I would think like you would want to commit to the craft, but there's
Mhm.
people that I've come across that present themselves as rappers, and you look at the Apple Music algorithms and they haven't had a song since 2018.
Exactly.
How are you a rapper or are you just
An influencer.
portraying an influencer or portraying a so-called whatever you think a rapper lifestyle is on the internet?
So that conversation is very interesting because I agree with everything you said. Um, and it sounded like something you probably heard from like DJ Clue or something like that, because I know y'all close.
No. Honestly, he never said anything like this is my actually I told him that once.
Yeah.
And I never heard him say that to me.
Did he agree though?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he put his phone out. He's like, say it again.
So as you know, outside of the podcast and the sports stuff, I manage an artist Flex.
Shouts to Flex. And you've been
Year,
working. You guys have been working forever, and I love the progression.
thank you.
Yes.
Flex years ago signed a deal with Def Jam, and in our minds, it was a life change. It was a life changing situation because now you're with a historic label who is going to be
Yeah.
about the music and take it to a different level. But as a manager, one of the most frustrating things about that time was having those meetings and coming to realize and find out it's less and less about the music. I'm going into meetings trying to figure out how we releasing this and doing this. They're talking about content. 90% of the meetings I was going into was about content and not necessarily music. And
Mm.
that was very telling. And I think that's why music is what it is now, because it's more about being an influencer. The world is about who has influence. Where are you getting it from? Oh, you're a TikToker? You want to try to make a song? Because if you can deliver a song because of your influence, you don't even have to be good. You don't even have to have craft. You don't even have to love it, but you have influence. So make a song and see if that song. Look at LeAngelo Ball. LeAngelo Ball has influence because he's a part of the Ball family, right? They have a following, fame, followers, all of these different things. You make a song, it happened to be catchy, and now LeAngelo Ball is a fucking rapper. The guys that are on Twitch and the streamers, if you wherever you get your influence at, how can you take your influence and make it, profitable?
Yeah. I mean, there actually was some of that even way back in the day, but I don't think it was as much like that. Like look at Shaq.
Absolutely.
You know. But now it's
Absolutely.
more of that now than ever. You know.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. But I would say even then, I mean, Shaq was actually like working though. Shaq was
Yeah.
putting
Like he
out
actually.
albums.
Yeah. 100%. Like
Now a lot of
he loved
guys
the
are just
crap. He
going
loved.
making a song, and if it catch fire, now it's like, oh shit, I'm gonna run with this. Versus Shaq, I'm sure probably had to invest his own money into it.
100%. Dame same way. Dame really loves to rap. You could tell.
Oh yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly, exactly.
That's why I respect like when Dame raps. Like you could tell like he really raps. Like he's not just he doesn't want to do it because it's cool or this or that. Like he really loves to rap.
Yeah,
Like, but so not to sound like old heads, like does it does the craft matter anymore?
yeah. It matters. It matters because we still have
I would
people
hope so.
like
Yeah.
yourself, me, a lot of the people that I know, when they listen to music, that's what they're looking for. Um, but the thing that we got to hope for and we got to continue to push is that it will continue to matter, because what happens is we're quote unquote unks, we're old heads. The thing becomes the youth. So we got to make sure that Baby Combo respects the craft and he don't look at like a streamer making a song and be like, that's my favorite rapper. Because then once the kids get hip, they're going to push that shit out and it'll become super acceptable. It can't ever really get that acceptable because me and you, the guys like us, women like us who grew up on music that was more real and it was crafted and it had soul and feel, we're always going to fiend for that. And if we ain't getting that, then we're going to, and it can only go so far with the gimmicky shit. A lot of the shit with the music, we're in a numbers based game where things can be manipulated. But at some point, it has to be tangible. You have to feel it. So a guy can come on there and talk about he got 1 million streams. Okay, what's the next step? Go sell out a show. If you got 1 million streams or you do a
Yeah.
million monthly
That's
listeners,
a separator.
you should be able to come fill out this venue.
That's a
And
separator.
that's what happens. These streamers, influencers, whoever that rap, motherfuckers they can't fill out the venue up the street. And that's when it's like, aha, the craft does matter because Combo and Pierre, they ain't paying $50 to go watch a fucking streamer.
Right,
But
right.
you'll pay the $50 to go see Jada Kiss,
Right,
to go
right,
see
right.
Nas and all of these guys. So as long as that continues to be the issue, it won't, the tangibleness is always going to be important. That's why the AI shit is mind blowing. Y'all talking about they're gonna make AI artists? How? Nobody's going to have like a tangible relationship with an AI.
Mm.
because when you were growing up and Beyonce, growing up, you have a crush on a Beyonce or Ashanti or a Mariah Carey. That's a tangible feeling. That's a real person. I can have a crush on her, whatever. When you come with an AI person, there's nothing tangible there. Even in today's world where there's social media, you can't have an AI R&B singer taking selfies or being in drama. You get what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's like, what the fuck? AI, they're gonna start making AI scandals. So I don't know. I just wanted to get some type of cultural thing for you. You on your shit though, Combo. You funny, bro. You funny.
And you're not funny. You're probably one of the.
No,
You're like the
no, but
funniest dude in basketball media.
you're funny because I've known you for years now. We're halfway, we're past
Have I
halfway
Have I changed at all?
to
Have
2026. You haven't changed. Your approach has.
It's a fact.
So when I see I see clips of you like on my timeline, and I'm like, Combo is having that like I followed you early on where a lot of your content was just basketball. But now I go and I see you talk about relationships. I'll see you arguing. I remember I seen a clip of you. I might have commented on it. You and Esso was like arguing, and you were like, "Let him go." And I'm like, "Damn, Combo ain't never." I see you on He With Us, and y'all be arguing about all type of different
Shouts
things,
to
and
He With
like
Us. Yeah.
you
Shouts to He
you
With
still
Us.
got your your hot takes or whatever. That's always been you.
Okay.
But like I be seeing you now, and it's like you talking about rap and cultural things and relationships and
Yeah.
advice. And I'm like, look at Combo diversifying a portfolio.
With your crew, does everybody like to talk about the non-basketball stuff, or
Yeah.
some or one or two of the four just rather talk more about basketball?
We all want to talk about basketball. But
But I've been watching some good content where you guys are talking about like the old high school days. Like I love it. It's
yeah, we all
amazing.
love that,
It's
and the
amazing.
fans love it
Of
too.
course,
So it's like
because they feel part of the friend group.
that's the
They love it.
tangibleness.
Yes.
You can't get that like the
Yeah.
AI. If you create an AI sports podcast, they can't talk about you was a bum. You ain't make the high school varsity team. It won't be real. But that's where it's like
When you
But
guys ran off of Mike, and bro. But the crazy thing is like Mike didn't like even break a stride in his conversation. He talked.
no,
He just kept talking like nothing happened.
that's
It was
Mike. He just stays locked in. He's like, oh, whatever. Yeah, I needed them to come do my internet. I was like, but
and the
I
synergy,
peeped that when I watched it back.
the synergy of you and Kenny on that. Like, I think not to like toot my own horn, but like when you've done a lot of podcasts and watch a lot of podcasts, but the synergy of how you and Kenny looked at each other and just ran off, like that's so much chemistry, bro. Like people don't even know that.
So
It was hilarious, bro.
I'm gonna throw this in there too, because people like to watch our stuff, and we'll get into little things, and they'll be like, "Man, like dang P, you toxic or you mean or whatever." But what I try to tell people is
I
like,
think you're the opposite of toxic, but go ahead though.
absolutely.
Yeah.
But this is for people that don't know no
Yeah.
better. When you start, it's kind of like what you said with the Kon Kneuppel. I'm saucing it. So it's like what we do is authentic and real. It's never scripted. But I've done podcasting long enough that I know if I feel a moment, I know how to create one. So if somebody say something, it's still authentic. It's like, wait. Say that dumbass shit again. You know what I mean? And it's like, that's not me I would never humiliate or alienate a friend or a person that I admire. Even with the Cade Cunningham over Tatum. It's like if I say, man, that dumbass, I'm not saying Combo is dumb or calling him a dumb. It's just it's just kind of how you grew up in the lunchroom. When we were
Of
kids at
course,
the basketball court, and it's
of
like
course.
that dumbass jump shot. It's just like, it just makes it. But to me, what I've learned over the course of my life, it cements something to me. That's how I cement my accepting and my comfort with a person. So even like Christian, who produces this show, my comfort with Christian shifted when I started to talk shit to him. So when he first came into the office, didn't know him, didn't really, I wouldn't joke on a person I didn't know. I wouldn't make him uncomfortable. But once the relationship built up, and it's like now we do certain things on office, I clown on him the most, just to let him know, like, I'm accepting of you. I'm comfortable with you being around. You're one of us.
Right.
When you have a person coming to the office and they get a special treatment, it kind of alienates them because it's like, damn, you know what I mean? But now once you let the guard down, it's like, hey, I can joke on you, you can joke on me, I can talk shit to you. You one of us. Everybody in here is equally even. But if imagine a podcast where I come in and nobody can joke on me, but everybody, like, it would just be weird. So that's how, like,
I feel like they don't joke on you as much.
who? The guys?
Yeah, they don't joke on you that much.
Because I think they do.
Are you
but
like you're like big bro almost?
I am the oldest, but I'm so witty. I think I have the most I have the most experience with it. That a couple times Derek has tried, and I found a way to flip it. So you kind of now on your toes.
It's definitely an art. Definitely an art.
But that's only because I grew up with my dad. So like he is the reason I got so sharp, because I grew up with him and my brothers and everything like that. So when you come from a household where all you doing is talking shit all day, like my dad wake you up talking shit. That's how my dad used to wake us up. Hey, man, we would be asleep playing a video game all night. My dad would walk in, wake the fuck up.
You know what's crazy? Like,
Wake y'all asses up, man.
It's crazy. You know how, like, you, not to bring this all back to summer league. You know, you go to summer league, but there's certain people you only see at summer league.
Yeah.
I've been going to summer league so long that I can kind of like joke on people now, and I only see them once a year. But like,
who do you always see?
Well, even people from New York that you might not know, I only see them at
summer league.
Summer league, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
That's
funny though.
Clips from the Clips and Drew show. Like, he does a Clippers pod. I see him. Like, I always could joke on him, but I've been going so long that now, like, I'm joking on people, like, you know, like, we're close, even though we only see each other once a year. But it's like,
I feel you.
It's
yeah.
authentic though. It's like
that's how I formed a relationship with Rafael Barlow.
Yeah, I bumped into him. Yeah, at Summer League. Yeah,
I followed his work. We did something together on Knicks Fan TV, CP.
Shouts to CP. Great event at Summer League, by the way. Shouts to CP.
I got to get to one of those. Every time I've been at Summer League, I've had something to do where I haven't been able to.
You got to get to New York, bro. You got to get to New York. Like,
I got one more procedure I have to do. They want to take my gallbladder. They took the stones. They want to take the gallbladder. After they do that, I might go to New York. Because I just kind of, I haven't been able to vacate.
You might need to come on the He's With Us show. That might be the.
I would be willing.
That would be great.
I would be willing.
Yeah.
What the fuck was I saying? Oh, I would follow Rafael Barlow. We did some work together, but then I would see him at All-Star, the Combine, and Summer League. And every time I would see him, even if it was just for 5 seconds, even if it was just in passing, I would acknowledge him. Because I'm not going to follow a person, talk to him, and then when I see him in person, act like, no, how you doing, OG? Much love, big fan, every time. Same thing every time. And then I ended up having him on the show, but that's one of the people that popped in my mind when you said that. You see a person, it's like, I know I'm going to see Rafael Barlow in person at least once a year at the Combine, at the draft, or at All-Star. So I definitely feel what you mean with that.
Yeah.
Shit, I'll probably see you once a year. And then it's people that you work with, because me and you was close before we ever met. So when we met, it was nothing.
Right.
I feel like I'm like that with
met in person. You mean met in person? Yeah.
I feel like I'm like that with CP. I have not met CP in person. And we've known each other probably 6 years now.
I've seen CP in person probably 40 times. It's crazy.
Yeah, I still haven't yet to meet my guy.
Good dude.
It's so many people in the space. A lot of people from the Knicks thing. I've known Ashley Nicole Moss for years.
Right.
Still haven't met her in person. The Pick a Side guys I knew for years before I met them in person.
Oh yeah, you have met them in person. I know that because I was there. Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Was that the first time me and you met in person?
Yes, bro. It was like, bro, it was just weird, bro. Like
Corey Tulliver, our boy Corey from No Ceilings.
Yeah,
knew him for years before I seen him in person.
Yeah, even when we met in person, it was like, it felt just like how we feel like on
exactly.
The it was like, Peace here. Like it felt like we've been together in person a lot more times. That's what it kind of felt like. You know what I mean?
Maybe because we actually did shit where we could see each other like this.
Right.
Because some people only know each other versus Twitter. You just typing. Right. But like when you're doing streams and you're doing Instagram lives, it is a little bit more personable than just like typing or voice. So
right, definitely.
Yeah, let the people know where they can find you. We could. They don't know. Me and you could do this for another 3 hours.
I think they know by now. It's been 2.
Yeah, this could keep going. This could go on and on and on. But let people know where they can find you, because you even doing the b-ball breakdown with Coach Nick.
Yeah.
He with us. It's almost too much for me to keep up with, so I don't want to forget anything.
Combos Court, wherever you listen to podcasts, COMBOSCOURT. You catch me on Instagram at 12combo, ONETWOCOMBO. Yeah, live shows with Coach Nick on B-Ball Breakdown YouTube channel. I got a He's With Us show. You can catch that on Instagram. It's a debate show. It's funny stuff. And
super funny.
Yeah. So yeah, Instagram's a great place to find me, 12combo. And then of course, wherever you stream podcasts, Combos Court. And I need you on the show beginning of September, because I'm working on some stuff for the show, and I need you there, P, beginning of September. So clear your schedule. All right?
I will be there. The only thing I got in September right now is they got to remove a stent, but that takes 10 minutes. That's not even surgery.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'll be free.
All right. And yeah, no, that's it, bro. And it's just always one day, I don't know if it's now, I don't know if it's the future. We got to get back to our weekly stuff where it makes sense. We're all a lot busier these days, where it makes sense for both of us. But we'll figure it out.
Yeah, man. I got a whole setup in the crib like you do. So
I don't know if I was thinking, and I think I texted you, like, I don't know if it's Twitch or if it's streaming, because I know it's not IG Live anymore. That's not the move anymore.
Yeah.
It's like
we got to go somewhere we can see some revenue.
100%.
Maybe it is Twitch.
It could be Twitch. Yeah. Kind of like, yeah, we got to see what 2025.
Make a Patreon.
Yo, Joe is getting like, what is he getting? Like 20 M's a year?
Yeah.
Shouts to Joe, man. Shouts to Joe.
Yeah, shout out to Joe. Shout out to Joe, for sure.
Yeah, we got to figure some of that out. But thanks for having me on your platform, man. I've been I was really excited about this, and I was like, I hope the conversation is as good as it always has been, and I feel like it has. So I'm really happy.
Thank you.
Because this is your platform. So I'm like, I hope it's just as good as it always is when we, did the IG Lives. Obviously, you're always on my show a lot, so I'm just glad like we cooked up.
I'm glad the team is definitely gonna be like, we gotta bring them back.
Anytime I'm here. Anytime. Appreciate you.
But yeah, I'm definitely. I'm going.
You like family to me, bro. Like honestly,
absolutely right. Like 100%. They don't. We do.
I don't say that lightly. I don't say
hour and 15.
I don't like. I know that's like people like go around saying that all the time, but like I don't say that all the time, P. I rarely say that.
Actually speaks loud in the word.
Yeah.
When I get on the phone with my dad, and he's like, "Man, what's up with Combo? How you doing?" That's, you know what I mean.
Yeah,
that's
100%.
Pops ain't doing that with everybody.
100%.
You know what I mean.
Shouts to Pops.
But I am going to try to figure out something, plan something after my last procedure, which is in like August 14th. I'm gonna try to get out.
My birthday, by the way. That's my birthday, by the way. Wow.
August 14th.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah. My gallbladder removal.
So I know to call you on that day. I know to call you on my birthday. Okay.
Yeah. 10 a.m. August 14th. Okay. I'm gonna get my shit done, and then once I'm done, happy B-Day Combo. I'm doing well because I don't have to spend a night on no shit. They just gonna do it, send my ass home. I'll be all right.
Okay.
But after that, I think I'm gonna need like a couple weeks to heal off of that. I'm gonna try to book a trip. Me and my girl go to New York or something, and when we do that, I'll try to hit you up to make sure we can figure something out.
100%. We'll make it happen.
Yeah, but hey, y'all, another incredible episode of Teed Up. We got my boy Combo in here. A lot of great, amazing shit. If you made it through these 2 hours, we appreciate you. Go follow my guy, and I'll see you next week. We out. Peace.